pedigree. Adder, PGC 19, PGIS, PGC 2021, 2022, and now 2023 as well, with 4 different teams. Wicked, PGC 19, PGIS with a LATAM team in Meta Gaming, just hopping on over to South America, joining the fun there as we see Perfectix fall in. Okay, the last game it was Petulans out early, now it's Perfectix. Twisted Minds clearly in trouble here. Off to a card we go. 19, PGIS, PGC 2022 and 2023 now as well in 2 different teams. Hikari, 19, 2022 and 2023. These guys, they've been there every single time, but they've never been the name of the roster. And, well, Sushu ain't going to be the name of this match either with the parking of that vehicle.
You hate to see it. You hate to see it. You also hate to see Twisted losing that one early on here, as it looks like E36 and Genius getting a little bit of a scrap here over by Cube. Good grenade play from both. Going to trade back and forth. Kai, the only one down. Looks like Serti has been flushed out. Clory's still bleeding out. Yoda is very, very low. Zest trying to defend his teammate as best he can, or trying to find out maybe if he can spot out Pure Boy. Nothing hitting just yet, though, and it doesn't look like they have any more offensive throwables.
Yoda really wants to regroup here, but it's not really possible right now with an opponent still around. Yoda, the captain of the team, brought in 2 of the previous players from BN United. Added Cloris as well, star player out of the region. Now we'll see if they can stand strong here. They are looking all right for now. Yoda does have a Panzerfaust in hand. We know those can do a lot of damage, but dangerous. Dangerous to use inside buildings.
Keep an eye on the mini-map there. You see Legacy starting to creep up over here. They hear this fight playing out. We'll see if Star-Lord can figure things out and get inside. Yeah, get inside that wall. Give yourself a little bit more cover before that inevitable third party comes through. Looks like Zest is just waiting for a push to come. He's got Shoddy in hand. Let's see. Get a little bit boosted up.
Oh, no. No way! Oh my god, dikit. Oh my god. Aduh, hampir.
He had him both. He was ready for it. He even swapped back to the AR because he didn't want to waste his one Panzerfaust shot. But little did he know there was an entire team of Brazilians sat on the hill up high.
Oh boy, that's as free as they're going to come too for him. He had a plan. He had a plan, and looks like the res will come through. K still slowly bleeding out, but E36.
E36 getting all the reses back up now. They know there's someone sat somewhere in the compound still. Most likely with the shotgun in hand, so not really eager to make any aggressive plays on that. But now 4v1, even with a shotgun, you're thinking that it's likely that they could come out victorious. Utility spent here. You know what? I don't even blame them for it. Get it smart. Get it done. And don't take any casualties in doing so.
Yeah, no, you don't want to. Especially when you know it's down to a solo, right? You don't want to take a knock for this.
Nope.
I mean, we saw what happened to Sonics yesterday, where they lose 2, trying to do this exact same thing, right?
I mean,
so you gotta imagine the E36 boys are thinking, let's be methodical about this.
I mean, a knock is fine in my book, but that's where you have the numbers advantage.
Sure.
You get one player knocked, instantly the second one is there to trade. And don't get fooled by the 2 great team colors. While it was Legacy before, now 4 AM coming over here to see what's happening as well. They've wrapped all the way north around. They loot out of Yasnaya and have opted to swing all the way north into this western circle and are seeing smoke, seeing vehicles in and around Cube, and they are curious.
They are very curious, but they're not going to see much. Unfortunately, they're coming at probably the worst time in this fight for them to come. Is E36 is just grouped up, trying to decide how they want to. Yeah, Zest, all he's got is
How
smoke.
many smokes does he have? He's been able to sit up here by himself for the last I don't know how long. Well, we'll see if he gets to stay here for much longer. I know at least right now what he's doing is delaying E36. Unluckily for him, E36 is a team who is never really in a hurry to get to the circle, so I don't think they really care about tanking a bit of blue.
Nope, they're taking their time about it, and honestly, the longer it takes them, the better, because right now 4 AM still kind of creeping around there as we check in with LG. They're just over the top of Howl, and Howl is looking over here. They hear the engines. But I think LG may have sniffed this out. I think they were following a little bit close behind them and maybe saw them go down in here.
Not gonna find more though. Pure Boy actually wants to take down Sylvia initially. Good thing for Enterforce is that
4 AM
they already left. So seeing 2 knocks could have meant pull up, but not going to happen. They will live with the scare.
And that is terrifying too, isn't it? I mean, you know you're a 4-man squad. You you don't want to give up a kill there.
Yeah.
You just do not want to have it happen. So kudos to them. They managed to pull it off. As we check out an interview here, as we check in with Betulans. Let's see, maybe this interview is with Betulans.
It took 4 days already to fix it. As a team, we discussed how this tourney would be for us,
Halo Bang,
how
halo
we
Mas Raffi.
prepared for it, what results we want, and other regular things like what hotel, what place of tourney, that's all.
Oh iya,
We are
lagi
fully motivated
di
to take
Thailand
first
ini PGC ya
place
sekarang
because
ya.
we already took third and
Oh,
second
oh,
at
no,
previous global
no
tournament.
sedih.
Thank
Mobilnya
you for
nyangkut.
your support. Keep rooting for us
Yeah,
at this
yeah.
tournament.
Ya,
Well, it wasn't Batu, but we get Spiro instead, and of course, he gets the curse of the interview as he loses his vehicle down in the trenches. Is now a Howl right behind him again. They'll make their way over, so
Oh!
that should be good news
oh
for
my
Spiro.
god,
The
betul
rest of the
insane.
Twisted Minds boys, you can see Batu actually spotting
Lah,
Blaze. Oh no,
eh?
Howl actually coming in.
Hal?
You're gonna find
Scofell?
Scofell.
Mati.
You're gonna go down to Lou.
Okay.
And Howl just kind of getting picked apart right now. The man's locked one up.
Oh.
Yep, Twisted Minds lost one early, but that ain't gonna count them out. Now, though, Batulan's a little
Bum,
greedy
bum,
up over
bum.
the top there. We know it's dangerous. We know there's a lot of players around. Will peek on
Oh,
forward, but
oh,
Matt
Matt.
able to push on forward and find one for himself. Lou is still around. I think
bum.
Matt saw him on the right side just before, so he's now gonna flank on forward.
Oh.
Issue is Spiro, has him surrounded, and Matt, you are in trouble, my
Okay,
friend. And down
oh my
he
god.
goes.
Oh boy,
Thought
Lou.
Twisted gonna lose
Definitely
anjir.
covering for his captain there as Batu
tapi sayang
take a
banget.
wide swing on that
Spiro
peak.
mah.
That was
Oh, Spiro belum.
very aggressive there
Kira
for
tadi nggak
Batu, but
kepaten sih.
all's well as ends well as another 4 points picked up there for Twisted Minds. LG, meanwhile, still slowly creeping down. They have their high hills just south of Pachinki, scouting things out. 4 angry men. Meanwhile, they have compound of their own just
Yeah.
off to the west of Twisted.
Chilling for now and again. I mean, we know 4AM as a team that will play slow. They will come as one of the last. I mean, preferably to them, they are the last team to join Phase 1. But when that is
Ini
done,
zone
coming Phase
gunung
2,
lagi kan, nggak mungkin sih.
look for them. At some point in the game, you can pretty much do a bingo on this. At what point during the next match does 4AM full speed send it? Because
Nggak
it
mungkin dua
comes
kali
every
zone gunung
game.
nggak sih?
It's just a matter of when. And right now, well, they're sat dead center just west of Chopsticks. I think they're going to be comfortable here for a little while longer, at least. If not, the circle hard shifts off to the north.
It's a matter of when and if they get away with it,
Yeah,
right?
true.
Like how much they lose in the process here.
Yeah.
As speaking of sends, LG, they're just going to send it right in, and yeah, look at that. They get away with that pretty easily.
Yeah, able to sit tight here for now. 3-1 split in the twin compound there. Not going to be complaining about that. Coming in late and able to get such a center position practically for free. Well, of course, scouted, but still rewarded with their daringness again. But that goes into the conversation we had earlier. Teams are going to play it a little more
Sheng
passive.
Yishinlong.
Early on here, we saw
Tim
Sixel
apa
on the
tuh Sheng
wide western
Yishinlong? Baru
rotation
tahu.
down by Quarry before. But again, they're also a team who will gladly take their time. They'll play on the edge. They'll play it slow. Issue is they're now running into
Baru
the 2
kah?
EMEA teams who does the exact same thing. Question mark. Foot up here. Look towards the kill feed. I would be surprised if you don't see Sixel players down real soon.
A little terrified there for Purple Mood. They got a P90 in hand as check in with
Gebrek,
Mark,
halo
Phil
Babang
first, just
Gatland.
keeping eyes on things. Probably keeping an eye, seeing.
Real.
I'm not sure if they thought they
For-
maybe saw
for
something
AM.
out in the distance there. A doozy
Kurang
actually
sekarang ya?
doing some scouting via vehicle.
Gila masih no point anjir.
Foot, big wide split on the
Atau ngapur.
northwestern side. New Circle's going to pop, going to donut pretty much right on top of everything. So
Aduh, zone-
not a
zone
lot of
Gatka ya.
movement left to be made. Question mark maybe. Sixel, Purple Mood, that's about it.
I'm looking at Pentagram right now. They're maintaining a very, very greedy two-way split, and I think they will be punished if they don't opt to group up very, very
jangan
soon.
cok tuh
Genji,
Inter, aduh.
full control of Gatka, and now Shen Yishinlong trying to
Isial
make
tuh
that
berarti
all
hari
up. Keep
Yin
in
ya?
mind, they came in from around Pachinki out east, and now they're all the way up towards Everest, trying to go for the full 360 here, but I think they're going to be cut a little bit short. New Happy, in the meantime, trying to group up on the southern side here,
Ada
too.
rumah
They
doang
know
buat
that
si
there's
ini
pressure
mah.
building
Siapa
from the
si-
southern side, and the first one there is
Siapa
going to be
si
Purple
From
Moon.
AM?
Yeah, they had a very rough game number 1 here as Purple Mood being real sneaky about how they push up here. They got to be careful. They're a little bit split up. You would like to see them maybe a little bit closer together, especially with us having vision and knowing what's waiting for them on the other side here. I think Tanawat maybe have Yeah, he's got the high ground. He's trying to feed that information over to him, but nope, CC108 is going to spot out Fluky, and that's going to be an opening knock there for New Happy.
He gone over instantly, one down, and the important one to take out to the P90 Falls. That is a gun that Purple Mood would really want to have in an up-close battle to come against the likes of New Happy.
But look at this, New Happy. They get the knock. They're not pushing out. They're not trying to get angles. They're not trying to figure anything out. They're just bunkering down instead. And just kind of allowing Purple Mood to reset off of this. This is definitely a different New Happy than we've become used to seeing.
A New Happy with a bit of a slower play style. They, again, I mean, they're extremely cautious. They never aggress unless if absolutely forced to. Right now, well, they have 3 players sat in the building. They don't have to push. Therefore, they won't. The thing is, they're as dangerous as anyone else up close. That's a double headshot. Imagine
insane.
I'm safe. I got a level 3 helmet. I'm chilling. But nope, not going to happen. Dante finds him through the smoke, and maybe, just maybe, that's going to allow for Purple Mood to push on forward.
At least allow them enough time to get res onto Fluky. So P90 back in play as Tanawat going to come and rejoin the boys. Duckman's picking up on the top. They're going to make sure they leave those smokes down, keep that smoke wall going to protect them from question mark. As the throwables keep going out. Fluky going to go down again as Nan and the rest of the New Happy gang holding a strong defense against this push.
This fight is taking way too long. The triple comes through. Great hold. Nice use of utility. But now here is question mark. They're over the hilltop. They had the element of surprise. Now that surprise is been sprung, though. We'll see. Close can maybe catch question mark. Off guard as he's prone right down below.
He needs protection from his men in the house, though. He is the tip of the spear for sure, but he is just wide out in the open. If any of question mark are able to just peek up over that ridgeline, Nan is sure as dead. So he needs to rely on his teammates to go. They spot him just like that. His teammates look at, there you go. December 12 actually going to trade it back though.
What the wow.
Now they have to hold the line though. They have to try and allow crawl all the way back. Somehow them being able to push on forward. 30 seconds to go until the next, until the circle's going to start closing into PMA from the other side again. They're not aggressing. They're playing from afar, but they're getting these points fed without having to risk anything to claim them. Smart playing here from PMA to not overstep their boundaries.
No, very good stuff. Very good awareness on the part of PMA. Meanwhile, that circle did pop, and it is going to go south. So this fight has a little bit more time to play out if we want, as we see LG and 17 kind of squaring up a little bit in the kill feed. Meanwhile, question mark, it looks like they're just going to pull away from that fight with New Happy. They realize they're dug in that house like a tick. It's going to take way too long to dig them out. Let's go ahead and make the next move into the zone.
I mean, their Edge team, they got exactly what they wanted. They came over the hilltop. They got a kill on a team they now know who is. They've wounded them. They say, great, if they're coming to us, we have the numbers advantage. Now let's fall back. Let's go back on our edge. Let's chill things out and let the action unfold before us and then make our decision on where we want to go.
Exactly. Exactly. What you want to see from a team of New Happy's caliber. Legacy, meanwhile, have to send it. They were all the way up on the north, and they're going to be sending it right into Twisted Minds. But Tolong is ready and waiting, though. The AUG is just singing. One left up for LGC, and that will do it. Twisted Minds. It looks like actually a couple of those kills get stolen away there. Yeah.
Twisted Minds, they'll take the 2 kills and staying alive any day of the week here. Intervals 36 now feeling the need to go full speed sender. Where are you going to go? Though all the compounds have been claimed. You were able to deal with Foot Esports in the previous one. This time around, they're not inviting you in. 4 AM 1D either. I don't think Interforce has any idea where they want to go. They're driving blind, but they have to find a stop somewhere.
Yeah, everything's kind of bad right now, so looks like they're going to continue. Star-Lord's actually going to stop down just to heal up because he's just a hair's breadth away from going down. As E36, they go all the way across the zone and right into question. But Pure Boy will immediately turn on the best of luck.
Solid shot coming through. Issue is they're up against an entire team inside the building. You saw one of them get out of the vehicle early. Not too much he can do in order to try and help. So question mark with the numbers advantage, finding the first one. Now taking down K as well. Sylphia is up close trying to fend off, but Star-Lord is nowhere near.
Look at New Happy. They've started to creep out of their compound. They're going to see if they can maybe return the favor on a question mark with the third-party action here. As E36 is starting to get picked apart here a little bit, and that's going to be it for them. As a COD actually going to do it. The final knock onto Star-Lord. So Question mark, they do take a knock. New Happy is getting there and arriving maybe a little bit too late. We'll see if CC 108 wants to push, how hard they want to push into this.
I like the idea of peeking on over. You
Sixel.
say push on over and peek on in. They're full speed sending it down towards the building. I think CC now caught out in the open, has to make a play, has to try and push on forward. But as you said, Shen Yi Xinglong now trying to make the play in from behind as well. CC, first one to fall. New Heavy down to 2.
Big shots from Dante, big trade from
Oh my
Ming.
god, what the
As
fuck,
one will go down on each side. Sixel now has joined the party as well. The new circle has popped, and none of this is going on inside the zone. Aduzi is very, very low. You see Phil first still holding up the top side, the high side here. Altov's burning out. Ming will push.
Insane!
We'll find the knock on Aduzi. Give it to the boy.
What a play coming through from
gila,
Ming, the main man himself.
What the
Absolutely insane. You talk to pretty much any single player in the world that play competitive PUBG and say who's your top 3 best mechanical players in the world right now. Everyone somewhere within that top 3 has Ming listed. He is a phenomenal mechanical player, and you got to see a bit of a masterclass there.
He is a stone cold fragger. And now Xinlong are going to try to make short work of them. They will take care of him with the blue zone grenade. And that should do it for New Happy. But what a performance there from Ming as they pick up a nice set of kills here. Now Sixel can turn their attention towards the new zone.
Here we go. Full speed forward goes Gen G. We saw Interforce try and do it just before. Did not work out for them. But Gen G now setting up the exact same play on through. They know they still have Shen Yi down towards that southern side. And now they're aware that they have Foot close by as well. They need to spread out. They need to make space. They need smokes out. And they're doing all of that right now.
Not sure if they stole maybe Foot's spot away from it. It looked like Foot was heading out here on foot with AT and Beamy leading the way. T-Bone and Vard now leaving the compound, starting to come over there and join the rest of the squad. But this is wide open field combat, Toby.
Yep.
This is terrifying stuff.
There's a bit of a ridge line, as you can see here. The people in the compound out towards the east can't see them, but if AC moves just about 50 meters further towards the east, he will be in plain view of the people in the upstairs.
It's a good
towards
balance.
that east. Nate comes on through. Esther forced to back off.
Esther tied his Nikes on tight this morning, but Songyang going to get spotted out by T-Bone on the side of that hay bale. And now Beamy's going to get spotted out by DG98. So trades coming through here from Gen G and Foot Esports. The one thing they've got going for them is no, well, I say that. Now Sixel is finally third-partying them from the high ground.
Looking back towards the Gen G of Korea, I should say, their PWS plays, one of their big faults, one of the big issues were that they never seemed really coordinated in fighting. So seeing them here, being able to trade for one another, to be able to kind of always peek back and forth with one another, knowing where they have each other, good to see right out of the gates here for the Korean team.
You can see the circle pop away, and what a shot from Ainsley. We'll get him out of the driver's seat of that thing real quick. Songyang the last one up. Suze still taking shots from that high ground. I mean, Sixel is just farming onto all of this. Nobody can even return a shot. Ainsley going to go down. Vard going to get finished off. Timo the last one up. Suze, it's actually going to be 4 a.m. that forces them away.
And this is playing perfectly into Sixel's playstyle, the Tianba of old, so to speak. I mean, MML and Lorena are kind of the spirits, at least from now, of that operation with Bowling, of course, the IGL. They never take risks. They play it slow, they play it smart, they sit. There's got to be a third-party opportunity at some point. And, well, here it presents itself once again, just like we saw in the compound between New Happy and Question Mark earlier.
So much action going on in this game on the outskirts, and we have not even touched upon the fact that all of these compounds that still remain in circles have full 4-man squads left in them. You've got Pentagram, you've got 4 a.m., LG, Twisted Minds down to 3, have one of the chopsticks, 17 have the other, and then you've got Sixel and PMA on the hills on the south side. So a lot of players left in this game.
Next play here is going to be positive mental attitude, having to figure out where do we send it. A send has to happen. Question is where it's going. If they know that Pentagram is the team inside the compound straight east right now, which maybe they should know, considering how long they've been here, you send it right now. You just saw the knock come through. That's your 4v3. That's your one chance to try and make a play.
Yeah, the question is, how are they going to know that that's who's there, right? I mean, it's the compound that Pentagram is holding is probably their best bet. The other problem is that they've got Sixel over there as well. So if they bomb it first, then they have to worry about Sixel third-partying them from the side. So we'll see what they decide to do. It looks like they're just going to creep down a little bit closer, find a little bit of a ridge line to work with. Unfortunately for them, they are right in line with Twisted Minds, and Spiro is going to find the first knock on IMP.
Twisted gak sih malah?
Just gonna say they can prone on the backside.
Kayak udah nyayur banget dari tadi
shooting
sumpah.
out. I was like, wait, there's other people doing what I'm doing. The whack-a-mole start fighting one another. Not so often you see that happening. Usually there's a bit of a truce between the teams inside the chopsticks itself. But now,
dia aja masih bisa kebalik ini.
apa
keadaannya orang
still
bisa
tasked
kalah?
to make sure that 17, Shushu, and Xiaobei can't peek on over.
Yeah, 17, they're trying to see if they can get anything off of this Twisted Minds, but they have to be super careful about LG.
Takut kali ini karena udah ke isolate semua tempatnya.
Anytime Twisted or 17 just peek up, they have to worry about any of the Luminosity boys
Asli
taking a few shots across the bow. Suze actually finds an angle there.
Gak enak juga di Asda tuh, di Asda ada LG juga tuh deket tuh anjir.
Sixel still doing hella damage from the south
ngomong gitu
side
juga
on that
bisa
high hill.
digebuk sama si Shenyi juga tuh dari jauh. Enak banget
LG and Pentagram are sat very, very tight right now. Even
Nah, ini
though LG is sat right next to both Twisted Minds and 17,
iya makanya kan nggak bisa ditembak semua arah. Ada LG, ada Shenyi Long, ada 17.
Luminosity, well,
ini gue bilang kayak antara Azla lagi atau ke LG sih yang menonton nggak tahu deh.
Yeah, but they are 100% on the clock right now.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They have to be aware of Twisted Minds 17. They got to be aware of 4 a.m. And then you've got PMA and Sixel on the south side. At some point, they're going to crash into something. You know, I would think that the Pentagram compound may be the best option, but you never really know.
We said that 4am will make a yeet eventually. This might just be the time. They've been sat in that compound for the past 5 circles. We'll see if now is the time. And all fairness, considering where they are, still 4 alive, have barely taken damage. Take those cars a bit further out, make a smoke trail, and play it out in the open. That might just be the play issue. Is how long is that going to keep you alive? And I think that's what Shenyi Long and PMA are starting to consider now as well. We got to make an aggressive play forward.
And here it comes as PMA is going to be the first one to go. But oh no, they hit the tree. So that's going to allow everybody to just focus down the first car. They're going to find Pete. They're going to find Kit. Second car finally comes through. But every's now paying attention to that as well. Teddy, the last one up. He makes it in. But for how long? Pentagram is just sitting here just farming. Yep, Teddy going to go down as well. PMA eliminated just like that. Sixel, they're going to try to do the same thing. But meanwhile, Twisted Minds at 17, that fight has finally come to a head.
Yeah, 17 trying to peek on 4am, butchered on approach towards the compound now. I mean, Luminosity and Pentagram working together to keep out everyone else. They want the fight for top 2. And 17, I mean, trying to get something done with the utility, able to get the knock onto Petuns, can't quite commit to the flush, though. Nice setup here for Twisted Minds to prevent them from going any further forward. But the blue zone is now closing in. They will have to get out of this position.
How on earth did Pentagram manage to hold off the full push from 4 a.m., PMA and Sixel all at the same time? So I don't know how they did it, but they did. That 17 game, and they're in big trouble for Blue Zone grenades. They're going down, dropping like flies. Xiaowu, the last one up. All he can do is hide in the corner of safety. And wait for the inevitable. Twisted Minds being very thorough here.
Dapat Twisted bisa keluar.
Grenade. Actually, it's going to be Spiro that does it with the AUG. Now Pentagram, Sixel proving a little bit more difficult to clear out maybe than they had thought.
I mean, Twisted Minds is saying if we just throw enough blue zonates over, they won't know what's blue zone and what blue zone and what's real blue zone, and they got completely bamboozled when there were that many blue zonates in and around them. Circle, send us up once more as Luminosity. One of few teams still inside this one, but now, as I said before, the fight between Twisted and 17 had to conclude. Now they are the next on the chopping block, and now for Shenyi Long, just MML left alive. He has to fend off against the entirety of Pentagram. If they go back to back here, Pentagram, that would have been, that would be, I should say, an insane start. This is still very, very doable.
I mean, I'm still agog at the fact that they were able to hold off a push from 3 different sources all at the same time. And they still have all 4 players up, as well as they're going to have Adder leading the way with the DB. Mill, MML. That is how that works. 10 kills now for Pentagram. What a statement to come in here in day number 2.
I mean, yesterday was Giamba, a team that also, I think, few teams expected to come up to a start like that. Now it is Pentagram here in this group. Luminosity, though, now having to fend off here. They lose Snakers early. We'll see if the flush comes through with a nade. Not quite so. And now Pentagram, I mean, if they want to, they can easily third party this.
I mean, why would they? Why would they even bother if they can maybe sneak a few kills or steal a couple of kills away, make their final fight a little bit easier. Right now, Luminosity doing their best. 8 kills for Twisted Minds so far. Lou will have to play around. Oh no! And Batu's going to go down as well inside. So LG turned things around very quickly. Spiro, the last one up, and as he said, Pentagram could be third-partying this, but they're just hanging out inside their compound.
You have to go for the flush here. They know that 2 players are down. Now it's just Spiro left alive. I'm not sure if Relo realized that he had a headshot connect. Is he allowed to get the rest? I don't think that LG, maybe they don't have more utility, or they're just not willing to spend more utility because they know there's a fight still yet to be had. But look at this, Flood knows exactly where he has him. Spirit's pulling a peek on over, tack once, tack twice. They now see the flush on the other side. Spirit peeks over, fights Relo. Somehow, Twisted Minds are still alive here.
And somehow, Pentagram has not left their compound to go take part in this. As Luminosity is just having a hard time. Finally, Stingers will get him, and they'll get the res on Arello. And this whole time, Pentagram has just been sitting there.
Pentagram, they got too used to having people push them, and they're like, no, we're not leaving this building. This is where things work for us. We got DPSs. We can't fight at a distance. They're waiting it out, and now, well, again, LG falls out into the open. A card. Helmet removed, but able to stay alive.
Fair enough. You know what, Pentagram? Play the game how you want to play it, my dudes. It's worked out pretty well for you so far. 10 kills in the bag. Mime almost goes down. Will go down as he gets his toesies touched by that blue zone. As the smokes are laid down thick for LG, trying to make their way across in. Eventually, the final dot's going to be outside of this compound, though.
I mean, again, keep in mind, Pentagram, they had, what, 5 teams die inside that compound. They got utility 4 days, and now they've spent the most of it. One more down. Just one more left alive. Pentagram looking to go back-to-back here. The OGs, the players that were dropped from their previous rosters, join together, qualify for PGC, and come off to a dream start here at PGC. Snakers will find one, but the trade is there. Back-to-back for Asla Pentagram.
And that is how it's done. They were a little bit hesitant, I would say hesitant to get involved in that last fight, but I guess they knew. They were saying, look, LG's got to leave that compound. They've got nothing but grass. So unless they've just got all the smokes in the world, we're going to eventually get them anyway.
Yeah, they sit with a card on the roof. They know exactly what has to be done. They have perfect oversight of the fight on the other side of the circle. And again, play it smart, claim it in the end. Again, they wasn't out. They could have made a play. Maybe should have. They made their play. They came out victorious. I'm not going to fault them.
I know. Look, hey, at the end of the day, they got the win, and they got all the kills, too, to go along with it. So who are we to say that they did anything differently? But we are going to throw it over to the analyst desk to break down this second game.
Gak selalu OP, man. Tadi aja ngecok, anjir.
2 wrangle maps, 2 victories for Penta. This is obscene how good they are right now. It feels like a repeat of yesterday. Tiamba opened with 2. Now Penta comes out open with 2, and they can't be stopped. They're smart. They're making the right plays. That choice not as a third party really played the dot. Worked incredibly well for them.
They knew that they had the center dot better, the compound was better, the layout was better, and LG was going to be delayed with the fight, so they're not going to be able to have a perfect smoke. The wall up, set up, and the timing is just completely different, right? So in general, it's just a perfect game for them in terms of how they executed things. Really well played here by Ming Ming too. Managed to get in and take out the question mark guys, and 3 kills for him. I gotta say in general though, this chopstick endings, it's just so well known that it's like playing the same chess game over. So how do you do these small changes? Nice played by Twisted Minds. They managed to get a lot of points on the board. As you see here, as the Pentagram, a back-to-back, man. I just can't believe it. Honestly, the guys have the pedigree, but I wouldn't expect it for this to be the start.
I expect it to turn on quite so quickly, all right? They're putting this roster together. I mean, Toby said at the end, they kind of came together to make this run at PGC, and sometimes it takes time to get that group back and synergizing correctly, but apparently not, as they played very well. Now, Luminosity also had a good game. Both those teams grabbed a good compound, held very effectively. But again, Luminosity, despite the fact that they had more smokes than I've seen in a very long time, they just weren't able to stop. And part of that was, again, Pentagram just used accuracy through volume. volume. You saw them just laying down fire. There was no chance to get heals. There was no chance to push forward. There was no chance for Luminosity to get that win.
Yeah, and in general, you know, in this situation here, like once you're 4 guys strong, you have that better compound there. It's just another situation like a waiting game, or wait for the third party, wait for those 2 teams to kind of fight it out, and then use the rest of the utility and just hold them out. So super well executed by them in general. This compound that they had, like the way that it's laid out, is also just a better compound, like to hold. You have that small shack in front. You have they were playing the roofs already. Like they have all the advantages in that case.
And that's true. They were able to set. That's really what they did while that Twisted Mind fight sort of played out. And it was extended. They couldn't finish that last flush, and that's when I think they took that advantage. And Pentagram said, "Yep, now we get on the roofs. Now we lock up the shack. Now we sort of pre-prep a lot of action." And there was just nothing that LG could do. So again, that's one of those things. Like I think if you're a team that doesn't get the win in that situation, you don't get angry about it because the game do be like that sometimes.
For sure. Like it's very often the case. Like if you're in a situation where you have 3 teams left, if you're the last team to initiate, always. Right. Almost always, you are the team that's
you're talking about game 1.
Sure, yeah. You're the last team to initiate. Oh, but they were hurting, and that's true. But it's very often a case like this. Like they're all kind of fighting here. As the Pentagram just waiting. Top 4 teams though. As the Pentagram 13 kills here. That's another 23 points coming in their way. LG and Twisted Minds, of course, also with a lot of good damage and kills. Of course, with LG, they're able to put in out of that damage, playing on the kind of high ground here. But now here, it's up to a card. 6 kills and nearly 700 damage for him. Good to see that there's another player that's able to step up. Again, the pedigree on this team here is through the roof. It would be crazy to see them to be the best team out of Korea, considering what we've seen from them so far.
It would be, I mean, as of now, officially, since the start of PGC, so far they're standing in that role. And Akat is going to lead that. His knockouts 3, 6 kills, 692 damage. Beautiful. And what I liked about the way they defended is reminding me sort of what we saw from Foot in the first game at the top of the mountain, where they were rotating, they were taking damage and shifting somebody else into the front line, making sure whoever was peeking had a solid helmet. They were playing good fundamental PUBG, and it results in 23 points on the match leaderboard.
It's 47 points after 2 games.
It's insane.
It's disgusting. Good for LG, of course, to come in. Twisted Minds, after a little bit of a different start for them. But yeah, some teams on the right side right now that we obviously want to see do a little bit better. Unfortunate for Howl and Genius, 0 points. But here, the overall so far, you need to get top 8. There's no difference. You need to get to the winners. That is top 8 and 47 points. Again, we're talking about the 75 to 85 points cutoff, so that is crazy. Again, another 1-team sponge so far after just 2 games.
And, you know, we started the day by saying, well, we'll probably not have another day with a 1-team sponge that sort of throws off the qualification points, because when we say that target is that 70-ish, that doesn't account for a team like, say, Tiamba yesterday, or apparently Pentagram now, that comes out and just mops points up, puts them in their bucket, and walks out of the building with nothing left for anyone else. Upside, teams like Genius or Purple Mood, you know, a hometown team that the fans are here to see, they're not out of it, because Pentagram getting those first 2 chicken dinners means that it's wide open for teams to make that jump. So pretty excited to see exactly what's going to happen as the games continue to go forward. We're switching off of Erangel. We're going to head to Vikendi next when we come back after this short break. So please stick around, because this is PGC 2023. Don't go anywhere.
Oke. Break guys, break dulu. Berapa menit nih break ya? Rasanya nggak lama sih.
Unleash my shopping spree.
Duty free from big brands.
At all King Power stores and King Power online.
It's possible. Enjoy great selections, promotions, and privileges.
The power of possibilities. King Power.
Oh, Vikendi. Vikendi? Hah?
With my magic, the night will turn.
Haha, Vikendi masuk.
Enemies beware. Mayara is coming for you.
Baru tahu anjir. Harusnya udah dong, kan udah 19.20. Right? Ya nggak apa sih, nunggu sih paling. Oh.
ยืนหนึ่งมันไม่ง่ายแต่ไม่ยากที่จะทำแค่ตั้งใจและสนุกกับมัน
เท่าแก่น้อย ตอบโจทย์ทุกไลฟ์สไตล์แบรนด์สาหร่ายยอดขายอันดับ 1
ถ้าสาหร่ายต้องเท่าแก่น้อย
아침에 일어나서 가장 먼저 무엇을 하나요? 에스프레소와 책 한 권을 읽습니다.
More water.
我们生意行动设计师刚组建不久的新队伍，这次能进 PGC 已经大大超乎我们的预期了，我们一定会加油的。
Nunggu ya guys ya. Apa anjir? Buka mention apaan?
Hello, everybody. We are back once again, and Toby, 2 games down, and we thought that we were never going to see something like Tiama did yesterday with 80 points in one day. 2 games in, 47 points for Pentagram.
Yeah, it's been
what
absolutely
is happening?
insane. I mean, absolutely insane. It's
I don't know.
It's a case of group stage, first couple of games of the tournament, everything can happen. Now, I say that, and that maybe sounds like, oh, any team could have come out and won. That's not the case, because Pentagram played 2 phenomenal matches here. First one, arguably had to fight more for it than the second one around, but even then, being able to close out games in the caliber that they did here against 2 of the most heavy-hitting, up-close fighting opponents in Foot and Luminosity here in the end of these 2 first matches. Very, very impressively done by this team, who individually has never been, again, the fraggers of their teams.
It's just been I guess a gumbo of all things going right. For these first 2 games. But now that being said, we've moved on from Erangel. We are moving over to Vikendi. What do you think we're going to see now that we're... I had this argument in my head, right? And I want to see if you agree with it.
Okay.
I think a lot of teams get used to playing on these teams. They get the snowball rolling, they get momentum going in their favor, and then you have the map switch. Well, we're doing not 1, not 2, but 3 map switches all in one day.
And you talked about snowballs rolling. I'm gonna go off of that and say that while I don't necessarily expect Pentagram to continue their winning streak, although it's by no means impossible, it's Vikendi in regions have played very different. Most regions have been very slow on them because there are just these open fields that you cannot use for anything, so you'll rather just stick to the forest, stick to the compounds for as long as possible. Having said that, once teams do get forced out into those open positions because circles do what circles do, they get incredibly spicy. And well, if yesterday's Vikendi is anything to go off of, I'm not even sure if land ratio does anything in Phase 4 anymore. So who knows? Who knows? It's been wild. It's been wild yesterday, and I hope that we get equally wild games here today.
Oh man, I just love this map. I'm really coming around on this map a lot. I know we've talked about it almost ad nauseum at this point, but you know, regardless of storms, regardless of bears, it's still a fun map.
One of the things that I think is the most interesting thing about Vikendi, as we do get the game set up and ready here, it was just testing, you know, just getting everyone up and ready for this one. What I do love is that having talked to players from multiple regions now about Vikendi specifically, many teams said, you know what, initially I wasn't a fan. Didn't like the map, it didn't play the way that I wanted it to. But they're all saying, now we're forced. It's part of the map pool, we are forced to focus on it. We are forced to pay attention to Vikendi, and they're all saying, you know what? The more I'm forced to work with it, the more it's actually growing on me.
It's like eating your vegetables. You know, it's like you know it's good for you if you pay attention. You have to actually get involved with it. But like you said, I think you're starting to see a lot more strategies starting to get formed. You're starting to see a lot of teams just actually kind of get their feet under them and really kind of figure out a methodology for how they like to play this thing. So now we are actually going into the game as we see Gen G and the boys sitting there. We are ready to head into the snowy fields of Vikendi once again. Head on a swivel, Toby.
Head on a swivel. Eyes on Pentagram, I suppose. 100% Group B win rate right now. And as you said, polar bears, blizzards, Vikendi has it all. Cable cars, trains, you name it. Dinosaur land. I mean, or Dino land, I should say. It's been chaotic. Now, we know that Foot and New Happy has been joining forces, so to speak, down and around Decamesto. But, again, neither two teams really eager to fight early on. I would be very surprised to see either of those two hot drop here in the beginning of this game.
Well, here's hoping. I gotta tell you, this plane isn't giving me a lot of confidence when I say this, but here's hoping that we don't see the absolute wheels off circle that we saw yesterday. I've never seen so much coastline in play. And that was just exciting to watch.
I'll say I have, but that was in 2018, so I don't know if it counts.
Fair. That's fair. I can't argue that.
Yep, so. Exactly. The plane has left the map. All the players are landing down on the snowy Vikendi, and so far not seeing too much commotion. Maybe Xiao Yixin Long and Genius are going to vie for a little bit of vehicle fighting. Outside of that, it seems pretty clean overall. But again, this is the group of patience. This is the group of cerebralness, which is now a word. I've just made it one. So we'll see. We'll see if... Oh, Ruin, please do it.
Come on, hit it.
You got this, Ruin.
Hit it.
And...
Whoop. Oh, it's okay.
Holy angle! Well, went for a vehicle and got penalized for it. Again, we saw them on the map. We saw them getting close to one another. It's the first time these teams ever really, and I mean, if we don't count scrims, I suppose, get a proper Vikendian against each other and stuff like this is bound to happen.
And we also got to see our circle pop, and it's very good. It's nice. It's clean. It's all on land.
Yeah,
which
sure is
the best you can say about
Not
it.
too much water circles coming out of this one. And as we were on Genius there for a second just before, I feel like they're due a highlight. I mean, it's an orc that picks up Utah and says, go make a team. I need you to make a team. He looks at, well, who's done anything? Zest and Simon T, or Sir T, they're like, they were teammates from BN United. They made it to PGC 2021. Tournament itself, not something to write home about, sure.
Fair.
But they still made it there. They got to a global tournament. They have the global experience, and now they're bringing Glorious, who's been on every single, that's not even true, 2 of 3 Nations Cup teams out of his region in Vietnam. So 2022 had Chloris on, and he played well there too. It wasn't just all a Cerberus show. No, he pulled his numbers. So curious to see how they're going to fare. It's not exactly been a great showing for them here in the first 2 rankles, but many teams that we expect things from haven't had a great showing in the first 2 matches. So don't let that write them off.
Not just yet. Not just yet. 2 points total.
Slow starters.
For Genius. It is what it is. It is what it is. As we check in with Sixel, making their way around the center of the circle, getting a little bit close to New Happy as CC just kind of off in the distance as check in on the castle. But, you know, obviously losing Boliang not ideal here for Sixel, but that's a team that can play with 3.
Oh, definitely. I mean, one of the best games that Twisted Minds has when Batulus died early. So we'll see if, maybe that carries over to Shenyi Shenlong. And then again, I mean, Boliang in particular, looking back towards the days of infantry gaming, some of the best games they had was after Boliang died. He just got to sit up and look over the troops for himself. But now let's listen in to Foot Esports and see what they thought coming into the tournament.
On the other side of things, Foot Esports set up a bridge camp against Exo. Trying to get away from this one, should be able to do just that. But with the low damage being done, he has T-Bone's forced down to reload. Oh, suppressed Orc as well. It's beautiful. Oh, yeah. There's not going to be any stopping for them here. Dante getting sprayed down. He goes down. So does a doozy as well.
It feels very Inception-esque to have to throw to yourself.
Yeah, that is a little weird.
I've never thrown to myself before. It felt weird.
That is got to be doing wonders for your ego right now. I can only imagine.
Had I only knew him prior, this would have made it even better. Yeah. Unlucky.
And now take it away, Toby.
Unlucky.
Well, Foot definitely. We saw a lot of good things from them in game number 1. Could have gone better. Should have gone better, arguably. You know, but. Right now, sitting in 5th overall, and I think they're happy with how things are going through the first 2. We'll see what they can pull out here in Vikendi. Checking in with Howl. Saw them get a little bit involved early on in the in our Erangel game, so a little bit lower on the leaderboard maybe than they would have liked, but
yeah,
should be able to turn things around.
I mean, they lose 2 very, very early on in the first rankings. One thing that I did catch on their first 2 rankings that I haven't seen them do that much in EMEA is they attempted at least to set up traps in both those games.
Yeah,
first it was against PMA.
Right?
The very next game it's against Luminosity. Now Luminosity dodged, managed to kind of circle around that trap, but it was an attempt. This is not something we've seen them do in EMEA at all. They normally just bomb it center, try to claim something in there, lay low.
Atas alasan apa mereka masukin Vikendi ke PGC anjir? Kenapa nggak Deston? Destonnya mendingan deh. Deston nggak bisa sih. Jelek kan.
Unaware players off guards.
And I love that too, right? I mean,
it's super smart.
You're an org that's coming into this global championship. Obviously, you've gotten used to how things play out in the EMEA, but you realize that if we're going to take to that next step for international play, we've got to do something different, something that we've never really done before. So you can tell that they've been practicing it, thinking about it, workshopping it, and now they're putting it on display. Sometimes it's going to work, sometimes it's not, but it's something that's trying to. They're doing what they realize they feel like they need to do to step up their game internationally.
And they've had the year to warm up, right? I mean, we look back towards PGS1. They qualified through to PGS1 in flying colors. Best team in EMEA of the tournament prior. And PGS1, again, not exactly something to write home about, but they learned. They figured, oh my lord, there's a whole other level of PUBG to be played at globals that we've never been up against before, but now we know. Now we take all that we learned back home and we prepare for tournaments to come. And here they are once again. Not the greatest start for them so far, but we are only 2 games in still. Plenty more PUBG to be played.
Plenty. Thunders, the Purple Mood gang. Around the southwestern side of this circle, may get a little bit close to E36. We'll see how long they continue their wraparound. Haven't really seen too much out of Purple Mood just yet, but they're right in the thick of things as far as that log jam around 8th to 16 goes. So can't really complain too terribly much.
Not at all. 17 as well. Again, we mentioned them earlier in the day. Not only are they a team that I think many have on their kind of top 3 list of teams to go and win this whole thing, but also a team that do not like taking unnecessary risks. They pretty much never split further than a 2-2. And this time is no different. They're sat center, they got control, but they're sat very, very close to their teammates. And from compounds where they can look towards one another. Should something happen, their teammates can instantly come over and support the teammates that are currently being suppressed.
Well, shout out to everybody who picked anybody from Osla Pentagram on your fantasy squads so far this year, because you guys are probably you're just absolutely farming points off of the rest of us right now, because that has been where all of the fantasy money has been headed so far, at least funneled through the first 2 games. We'll see how the rest of the day goes, but you have got to be feeling pretty darn proud of yourself. Be smug. Be smug, at least for now.
Indeed, you have Legacy. Yet another just earlier. Roster changes coming through. Their coach now stepping in as an active player in RBN. Curious to see what play style. I mean, again, 2 games in, everyone's just gonna get a feel of it, figure out what is the pacing of the slot gonna be. But then you also have the team say, we're not gonna wait and find out what the pacing is. We're the ones to set the pace. We will be the danger that everyone else has to try and deal with. And I had hoped that Legacy would do more to try and become that, because they are heavy hitters. They are really scary up close. So maybe again, just playing it a bit of show, playing a bit cautious here to begin with, and then going aggressive later on. We know they're dangerous when they play pedal to the metal PUBG, and we'll see that come back from them.
They have been very focused on keeping 4 up into the late game almost to a fault, where you'll see them avoiding fights that you're like, it kind of feels like you had an advantage there, and that you maybe could have put shit, but instead they're just like, you know what, no, let's just pull back. We like our chances of getting into the late game a little bit better.
Boleh nontonnya dari YouTuber, nggak apa-apa.
Tremendous frag.
Di Discord error kan?
And team fighting ability on that squad.
Suka hitam putih.
We just haven't gotten to see it yet.
That's why I'm bringing it up, because they were doing the exact same thing. Well, the 3 of them were doing the exact same thing at Nations Cup last year. But it was when they thought, oh well, you know what, it's done. We're just gonna let's just go amok, like let's just go crazy, see what's gonna happen. That's when they started playing well. When they stopped playing scared and started going aggro, they really started farming teams. And I just want to try and have them have that mentality from start to finish.
Yeah, I mean, it was the Nations Cup prior too, wasn't it? When they ended up in 3rd and had a shot at first. I mean, that was how they came into the games, wasn't it? They just taking a fight with just about everybody. So
exactly,
we'll see how it plays. I think there's a happy medium to be found there, and they're still trying to figure it out. Adder is going to get picked out by Lil Ghost, and the 17 contingent in the crowd is particularly happy about that one.
Seems like Pentagram weren't immortal after all. One player will fall. Maybe more to come, we'll see, as now the rotations are happening more on the side. This pacing that we're seeing now of this lobby is more on the lines of what I would have expected. Again, there's so many teams that like to just sneak around the edges of the circles, make their way on in only when forced to, only when the circles shift away. 4 AM, again, similar play style, but they will go much further center when they then do make a move. And I think that's what we're seeing them try to look for now. Look for that opportunity to sneak between these edge teams, find a way in towards that circle center. Believe you me, once that phase 3 pops, they will instantly be in cast, ready to go.
Tell you what, this circle shift is going to prove how much research and how much work these teams have done on rotation paths.
Yes.
On this
map.
Because
di tiap pertigaan tuh pasti ada aja PKD.
Tahu ini banyak banget mobil.
Down to the southeast, and you're not seeing any really long wraps out into the blue or outside of circle. You're seeing a lot of teams just cut right through.
Gue nggak pernah mati luar ring di Candy sih ya.
Southeastern part where there's open
selalu nemu mobil
to be
so.
found.
I mean, in all fairness, if you look at the map right now and kind of just
kalau gue rasa juga kayak nggak cocok deh ini map buat jadi map Pompeii deh.
The remaining 13
kayak gue mending se Candy
up towards the north.
Tahu deh.
Because maybe alluding to what you're saying with Legacy playing slow for too long, they might all just get smothered up there. It might just become now we're starting to see some of the issues caused by just this. It's 4 AM and Howl start looking in the way of each other.
You see the trade from HSM and the Mad, and meanwhile Legacy actually kind of scoping things out and see if they can maybe get involved in that as we check in with the rest of the Pentagram boys. They do lose Adder, but They are still 3 strong and are still very much in the driver's seat of this lobby. They can look at question mark. They are on the very northern tip here, a little bit close to Pentagram. Not close enough to spot each other out just yet, but just scouting things out. You're seeing very, very meticulous work being done by these teams that are coming in late. They don't want to try to blind send into anything.
It's insane to me that we're seeing a lobby right now where Gen G and Foot Esports are the 2 teams in the center, arguably 2 of the most edge-heavy teams of their regions. That just goes to show how slow this lobby is in terms of early game aggression. No one wants to set up a fight with the risk of getting third-partied. Everyone wants to be the smartest team
Ini
on the
Azla
server.
tim mana anjir?
Korea.
Cabutannya T1 sama ini Genji.
Of all these teams playing it slow, because there is plenty of space to fight over in the center of the circle, but everyone eager to sit out on the edge.
Well, just looking at this map, there are
bagus dimana
lagi dia poinnya udah gede banget.
Wah, ya back to back chicken dinner ini. 2 kali.
Iya. Jauh banget anjir poinnya anjir. 47 sendiri.
Oh, ini jadi tuh mereka berempat tuh XXT1, XXGBL, XGenji, XDK.
In dead center of the circle right now.
Ini cuma yang bagus tuh kali.
Iya, enggak, itu yang dikik-dikiknya anjing. Katanya sih yang dikik. Cabutannya Hikari itu dikik dari Genji katanya.
Wah, revenge nih.
Wah, tapi keren.
You want to be the king.
Iya makanya.
Exactly. We'll see if that's going to be the case or not as we look over towards 4M again. This, I said it before, might just be the time they send it in. Now they have enough info to go off of to have an idea of just about where this game is going to end up. So they're going to wrap around, they're going to try and find just a small gap to try and send it on in. Once they've gone around 17 gaming, they could potentially bomb it straight south. We'll see if that's going to be the case. In the meantime, seems to have run into one another.
Oh, Mime and the rest of the Snakers, the rest of the LG boys not worried at all about stopping down here in the open field. Take the shots over towards E36, get 1 kill out at least for free. Is Beamy actually going to be the one to force him to duck his head back down? K will survive a little bit longer, and it looks like they're going to try to pull in to the castle bridge, as that'll be the one area of defense here. But you can see Foot just off in the distance. It's not too terribly safe.
Si Mime dulu di Sonic ya.
See where the journey will take.
Oh iya.
I mean, backfilling one team straight. OEM are used to having way more teams bomb center early, and while, I should say, because of that, they never run into opponents when doing these wide wraps. But here's question mark, an edge team, and here's over towards another Twisted Minds, taking the fight to Legacy, and VHC is gonna fall down instantly. RPN immediately there to follow.
Legacy tim mana aja?
So many teams were on the rotation path on this northern side, but immediately stopped down, got out of their cars, much like we saw LG do against E36, and just turned on each other. Unfortunately for them, nobody, everybody just kept on kind of doing this. Everybody stopped down and took the fight here. So Batu, Twisted Minds, they'll pick up 2 kills. Looks like Legacy down to 3, but they're going to avoid that fight.
Korea.
Just looking off into the distance, see if they can find anybody peeking their heads. You had Hal as well in the blue right now, just behind. And then you have the same thing occurring on the other side of the circle, where you have Pentagram holding out 4 AM.
And this is exactly what we were alluding to earlier. All these teams are strategizing of being able to bounce around and wrap on these big wide rotations, but because everyone is set up to do so, they all become speed bumps from one another, therefore effectively denying the opportunity to play the style of PUBG you want to. And the sooner teams realize that this is going on and start playing more center aggressive, I think the sooner those same teams will be rewarded. Howl now, oh my lord, I'm seeing mortars written all over this position.
This is not looking great. That doesn't look great for 4 AM either. They may have found a spot to play in, and there you go. We do get our castle finish. And what?
Denied. Okay, absolutely denied on rotation. Genji had set up, they were waiting. Again, I mean, Genji, a team that likes to play edge, they were forced to send earlier. Now they've stuck around, they've waited now they're in their comfort zone. They just took out one team looking to fight more. Thunders in the meantime finds Crazy as the crowd goes wild.
Lalu dari Twitch ya? Ininya.
And 4 AM will be finished off. As I was a little bit worried about it, they were trying to find a way in. They rotated themselves to death. that time here as Duckman's down, Thunder's down. It's up to Tanawat and Fluky to try to reset things here for Purple Mood, but it does not look like Luminosity wants to let, well, no, I say that. Luminosity actually kind of pulling off here.
They found one knock. They saw there was another in the kill feed. They have to try and make a play here. Nice timing from MML to peek on down. No, Matt running over last on approach 2. This is not how Howl wanted to pull up on this. Not what they wanted at all. Ruin and the Matt, though, are still alive. Ruin deploying some smoke, trying to grant some cover for this rest to come through.
Oh, big danger here is Duckman's will be finished off by Hikari.
Ribet tuh anjir.
It's like, oh, hey, look at that piece of candy. Unfortunately for him, though, he's just not in a great place. As he is inside the zone, so he's got that going for him, but that's about it, as the rest of Purple Mood will try to send it back in. Now, Fluky all by himself. Looks like Tanawat is trying to make his way over here, but the rest of Pentagram split up, spread out here. It's going to be a series of 1v1s essentially, and PLM is winning.
Oh my god.
They're feeling it, they're pushing on
PUBG.
forward, taking the fight to Pentagram. Pentagram, of course, down one early from the start of the game. But
Gue mau kena
now
ban
getting
gak?
even more with
Gue bisa bikin lu kena ban.
steal points away from them, but still, 4 kills
Nick.
is tough for them to fight on this side of the circle, but they've managed to get a couple of them. Now they have to get the safety. Then what?
This guy.
Jangan, woi.
Here should be alright.
I think he's
Nick bertanya.
Fluky going to do his best to keep LG a little bit distracted and maybe make sure that his teammates can get the revive off and
Aduh, Azla tinggal sendiri.
way inside the zone, because he looks like he is. He just looks screwed.
Yeah,
Dia udah aman poinnya.
Just before he's gone as well, and now the blue is on him. Not
Dia sebelum aman
sure
sih.
if he had
Satu match lagi.
a German back
Kalau
or
dia jadi
not.
winner aman udah.
Donasi, of course, not going to sit around and wait this one out. They want to get into a better position. They want to wrap around.
Dia sistemnya ini juga bukan sih, kayak poin berapa terus chicken dinner baru menang.
He left alive on the side of Purple Mood.
Mungkin.
While on the other side of the circle, we've got
Apa banyak-banyakan poin duluan?
Serti getting a little bit
Mereka mau
close
aja
to the
tetap aja sih,
17 death ball as he will go down now.
Tapi mereka aman sih anjir, nggak ini, nggak bakalan kayak kebalap juga dalam match ini, kecuali tiba-tiba apa LG kill back banget gitu.
Ini masih group match anjing, masih aman ini. Yang penting mereka masih winner bracket dulu.
This
What an
siege
incredible
has
finish.
begun. This is absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. We're getting fed interesting circles here to kick things off. Let's see now how wild this one is go down as we come into the pseudo small city ending of a kind.
It's time for some literal tower defense. And I'm here for it. As I know Matchroom's got to be going absolutely bonkers right now that he can't.
Gue jujur tuh malas anjir drop tuh diubah jadi yang kayak banyak box gitu turun. Lu tuh jadi kelamaan ya.
Box apa?
Box ini dropping.
Nah itu kan cuma di Taigo sama ini doang anjir.
Itu
bagus malah itu. Enggak, soalnya kayak gini loh. Yang utama itu yang merah, sisanya itu cuma attachment sama heal doang. Itu bagus anjir. Malah kalau gue bilang
jadi kayak ditambah doang ya, bukan kayak di Taigo kan kayak lepas jadi banyak banget kan.
Kagak. Boxnya itu cuma tambahan isi attachment sama heal doang. Penting itu. Wah, asla kelar.
Of the recently added dragon.
Oh!
What the hell was that?
Damn!
God dang, Fort!
Headshot 2
Somebody
Dadah.
him.
Dadah. Dari poin.
Oh ya, jarang.
That was absolutely filthy. Snakers, he doesn't want a piece of this at all. He's just going to go ahead and pull away and try to survive a little bit longer for the LG boys. As he looks like he should be able to do so. Nobody really checking that right now. But Foot, good God, Vard.
I mean, Relo peeks on saying, hey, you seen my dragon of Vard peeks back, you've seen my mini? I mean, that's holy. But again, I mean, that's the level of play we've come to expect from these players. Maybe not double headshotting people mid-air, fair enough, but still close there too. We are at the global stages. We are at the pinnacle of what is PUBG esports. And you have to be able to pull off stuff like this. And Vard, well, perfect example right there.
God, it was sexy too. But Snakers will survive. He's gonna dig himself in his little hidey hole, as safe as he could possibly be. as MML just
Jadi
holding
itu
angles inside.
depannya stacking 3 gitu aja.
Ya, ini masuk meninggal.
To come breaching through the door.
Tewas ya.
Ayo ngepick, lari ke sana, lari ke sana.
This is the most, like, tell me you're watching Howl play PUBG without telling me you're watching Howl play PUBG. That is, you know what, they're safe, they're inside the circle, they're grinding placement points.
Apa nih?
So I don't fault them for trying to put up a strategy that who knows, may or may not come out.
Apa nih bang? Aku nak loot dikit dah.
Well, so looking at it now, Tommy, you got Genji, who's currently down 1 Songyang. You got Genji, you got Foot, you got Question Mark, and you got 17. All 4 strong, all outside of the castle walls right now. Now we have a new circle. The castle's still in, obviously, but big percentage of that zone is outside of the castle. Are we thinking that maybe our 4-man squads outside of the castle are in the driver's seat here?
Thing is, it's too late to crash. It's too late to crash those walls.
Yeah.
It's the teams in there already sat way too comfortably. Exactly, they already sat way too comfortably. You gotta try and play it out in the open. I think for Foot,
Enggak ya, masih full team.
stay underneath that bridge for as long as you can. Issue is now they're closing in on the bridge itself, and now Gen G is getting lines of sight on them. So try and see if you can take this fight to Gen G. Hope that maybe New Happy from up high will assist you in one way or another. We saw Nate slopped on in just before, and same thing up towards the north. 17 has to be very careful with question mark over towards the eastern side.
Looks like Foot did take a knock, but they were able to get the res back onto it. 17. Ooh.
Gue enggak anjir. Ada yang detak jantungnya gitu.
Iya,
ada emang.
And looks like Foot trying to position.
Jadi lucu aja gitu aja. Oh, ini orang deg-degan.
Gonna spot 18 again though. Pio doing some work there for the Genji boys. And immediately T-Bow back again, trying to see if he can go for the res, but Pure Boy and the rest of E36 also have an angle on this. So you've got Foot and
Dia bolak-balik merah itu anjir.
you've got QM and 17 on the north side.
Yeah, everyone trying to say, can we just please look the other way for like 10 seconds? Well, how about if we just all get to the castle? Let's just unite for once and breach this castle together. But neither of these teams, of course, are wanting any of that. Xiaowu gets knocked down. Not sure if there's going to be a rest possible with the circle already closing in.
Question mark got a really nice position here. Beautiful ridgeline. Unfortunately for them, it's outside of the zone. And unfortunately for them, Ruren had an angle on it as well and just deleted Dante.
Here they come, full speed forward. They've done enough damage that they're comfortable in making the play out through. Let's see if more damage is to be done as Xiaobei now falls as well. Adusi will be traded in the end, but it's just Lil Ghost left alive. Filfirst has come up on the ridgeline, spotted instantly though.
Ghost hiding around the smokes. See if he can maybe do something here. Again, this is getting third party to fourth party for these castle teams. Go full spot.
Oh, no way! Ya, mati meledak anjing. Ya.
Falling damage.
Well, I mean, you know, a vehicle to the face damage, that's... we'll call it falling damage, that's fair.
Yeah, getting yeeted by a car is probably going to be the thing that does it. All right, well, Foot Esports, we've seen them take so many knocks here, Toby, but they're still 4 up and they have the bridge.
Now, when I talk about bridge camping in PUBG, usually I think of Erangel bridges, I think of Miramar bridges. Now, we have to consider the bridges in that conversation too. Foot, well... they're not the ones camping it right now, but they're the ones looking to make their way on over. They still got some utilities work with Beamy. Has been popping hits, but also lost a helmet of his own. So he's going to be a little more cautious.
Hari normal juga 17 gaming dari 2020. Keban-keban
that circle, that's... Pia's got some big work to do here, but he does have the Grozy, does have the SLR, and he's...
Dragunov baru ya?
Well, he's Pio, so we'll see if
bagus gak sih Dragunov tuh?
some magic here is... Well, Beamy is an alm.
Kalau gue liat kayak mid deh, yang mending SLR atau nggak mending.
You know, he's the one that deserves it. He commits to bolts all day.
It's almost not fair.
Yeah, I mean,
Nggak tahu, kicknya sih nggak terlalu nge-kick ya tadi gue lihat.
Give it to him. Question mark now trying to...
Oh my god!
And full health, but Vard double headshot. Pio down.
Vard is just...
He's on one. He is on
one. He's feeling it right now. He's feeling that mini. Everything. He can do no wrong here as the Twisted Mind boys have the smoke launchers in hand, trying to figure out how they're going to breach this thing. New Happy not making it easy. There you go. Gen G will get finished off by Foot.
They have to fight their way through this. They can't wrap north around. They know there's too much pressure up there. They have to try and fight their way through Castle to get out on the other side. This might even for Twisted Minds be a task too difficult for them to complete. Trying to isolate some angles with the smokes. with the smoke grenade launcher there, spotting Nana on the Princess
Boom.
Tower. We'll see if he can somehow get out.
Mantul.
He forces him down, and now Nan has to make a run for it.
Well, Nan has to make a run for it, but so do Twisted Minds as the circle has arrived. And they are just pushing through.
Itu lewat.
December 12th trying to give him a little bit of support, but look at this death.
If Ming Ming times this right, if he times it right now, peeks out, spots 3 people instantly, can't re-peek it. They saw him as well, but now damage done to Spiro as well.
That's 2 down, that's 3 down.
Oh my God.
Is right on time. Lou, the last one alive, and he's gonna go down as well. New Happy just decimates Twisted Minds.
The timing, the crossfire setup, they knew where they wanted to take this fight, and they set it up to perfection. Now Nando's fall to belate Molly from Spiro, but what a hell of an ambush there on the side of New Happy.
Absolutely unreal stuff there from New Happy.
Anjir, seafood belum ke ini ya, belum kesentuh tuh ya.
2 left. They are the only ones remaining. Foot Esports will take out Air Force 36, but they took damage in the process. New Happy will find 1. That's going to be MML going down. And New Happy 6 kills.
Oh, 2 tuh ya udah.
Castle.
Incredibly well played by them. Not only do they get to stay alive, but they had to brawl their way through it on equal terms.
Open banget
do
anjir.
so without taking any casualties.
I don't know. Well, actually, I don't know if it can get this res. 8C has been knocked a couple of times, and he was on the low side. All right, it looks like they will get to him just in time, but he was bleeding out very quickly. Happy trying to see if they can maybe spread out on this south side, but Foot has had that on absolute lockdown.
The fact that Foot, again, I mean, we talked about it in previous games how New Happy were able to stay alive at Everest. The fact that Foot are still full up on that bridge, they have been the focus of half the server at one point, and still able to fight, able to live to see another day, all 4 of them together. Question mark now, though, the team on the chopping block. Where do you go from here?
Well, this is a big danger. They've been trading shots back and forth with Genius, and now Utah's going to be able to peek out the side. Will get spotted by Phil first, so
bagus nih, padahal anak batu, anak mobil doang,
good shots from Phil first.
Udah lurus gitu juga lagi anjir.
Blue Zone Nets,
huge. 10 anjing. Double lagi.
Exactly, it does what it has to. It forces them off. It allows for some space to be made by question mark. Now smokes are deployed too, and Genius, well, they already have.
Tadi Blue Zone-nya dilempar 1 agak kanan dikit ya, kanan rumahnya. Kena tuh ya. Kudu keluar.
GE kalah sini.
Oh man, I could not tell you. I mean, you see those percentages up at the top of your screen.
Boom.
I don't know. I feel like they should.
Tapi GM kena ini anjir, kena sandwich.
Close to 25% across the board as you're going to
EQM kok GM.
Truly could be anybody's game here. Utah and Zest. Let's see if they can make their way across this street. They're trying to avoid question mark, but they've also got to avoid Foot.
Oh! Granatnya insane!
I say that, but Genius, question mark actually going to get
spotted. Oh my God,
Ming! I don't even know from where to find out.
Going crazy, man.
Absolutely insane. I love the molly that QM throws up to try and deny Genius.
Oh, no. Okay.
The player on the bridge, the team that wasn't invited to the castle party, comes out victorious.
Enggak, men. Udah menang, men. Ya, gitu dong. Kirain ngetrol aja.
That was a huge win for Foot Esports. And man, Toby, they earned that bener-bener.
They keep 4 alive through all of that. 4 circles of terror as everyone wanted to deny them the crossover. But in the end, they never had to leave the bridge.
How on earth they made
yang nebak tim yang menang ada yang menang 1 juta
is just beyond me.
Insane.
And then 80 hitting the most disgusting
cuma 32 yang nge-pick Foot.
Just absolutely filthy. But I don't know. That was an amazing game. Let's throw it over to the analyst desk to hear what they have to say about it.
They had to be disappointed after game number 1, but they're disappointed no longer as they foot to the top of that mountain and they take themselves a wonderful win. They played out of their mind, but no one played better than Vard. I don't know if he's bought bullets that have head magnets attached to them, but every time he shot that mini, it took someone down.
Vardas is one of the most correct, mechanically skilled players there is in this game here. There's no doubt about it. And I'm so blessed. We're blessed to see him do like that. The headshots there with the... That's just wild. Like
it was. Let's take a look back. Let's take a look back at the match. Highlights. Everybody's highlights. We're gonna get a lot of Vard highlights.
Castle.
Here's the first. It was just a double tap. It was wild.
The last one was just a single tap. The first one was, yeah.
And then he does it again right afterwards. Shortly, I think he takes PO out almost the exact same way. Foot. They had some knocks. They had to fight. It wasn't a walk in the park. They didn't get to sit in the castle and hold the defense. This also great play here. We'll talk a little bit more about that. Maybe New Happy holding out Twisted Mind's push. Everything from the Rapunzel Tower to the castle to the blue zone for escape. They just zone Twisted Minds into a death spiral, and here's the end of that match as Foot eliminates the threat and can just lock down the castle exit, and New Happy really just never stood a chance.
I gotta say, NH Esports though, they did win the castle TD in the end, but here, Foot, once they had to get out of the castle, it's just impossible, right? It's like getting out of city.
It is, and that shift away. Remember, that's frozen water, not water, which means that it's not going to... There was a chance it goes there. I think we saw some of our teams, QM was said, you know what, everyone else is going into cover. Let's try to play this outside a little bit longer.
I honestly like the play from Christian Mark, to be honest. The way that they kind of approached it, and we're like, okay, we actually have quite a lot of space here. We can put pressure. We can try to get some of these teams here. But then again, they tried to kind of sweep, but they got naded by Ming Ming. They got under so much pressure. Also, the two Puso nades they had, they bounced it on the house, so it like kind of went back towards them. That could maybe have given them the more time that they needed. But yeah, in general, Foot here, fantastic game for them. What a great weekend, and I love to see it. Once the end, they're just laughing there. Oh, okay, this was a wild game. That was a good one. It's like you can see it in the eyes. They're like, this is a well fought and hard fought for a win.
It was hard fought, especially after the first game where they also had a really good hard fought battle. They didn't quite come out the win, but they're gonna be happy with that. My name's Tavis. I got Avenger here on the desk. We break down the after action. You saw the highlights. We'll go over all the leaderboards and everything else in a second. But Vikendi seems to have been convinced to write stories for these teams. 2 Vigendi games played at this event so far. Both have had unique circles, to say the least.
Right. Foot here, of course, in the top 4 teams. 22 points coming their way, 2,300 damage.
Nice.
But of course, NH Esports, Question Mark and Sixel is going to be in there too. Sixel in a kind of home turf territory in a case where they're able to get some time, but only 4 kills coming their way. NH Esports, that was some really, really good nades and good angles there from Ming Ming, first of all. Also, Twisted Minds, they had out their timing and their push was just rough. But here, Vard, of course, 6 kills, 700 damage, nearly 1,000 from T-Bone, but only 2 kills going his way. Yeah, and you can see how happy Beamy is. I love to see him bolting. Like, he just has to continue to do so. But that... The headshots on PO as well, that completely destroyed him.
I suspect T-Bone helped Vard a little bit with those destructions based on that damage there.
For sure.
But man of the match, deservedly. And there were still 5 teams alive, and I think we looked at each other and said, man, I hope Foot wins this because Vard deserves man of the match with how well he has played. This is a team that deserves the respect of everyone in the field. They are made up of every single member has had PGC appearances. Every single member has a pedigree for perfection, and seeing them come out with 2 strong games really right out of the gate is very, very exciting. 22 points.
Kind of expect that, I gotta say. Like, these guys, they are just that good, and I am stupid me. I had a chat with them before the games today, and I promised them if they want a game, I'll get them beers.
Oh, yeah, so now you got...
I'm 6 beers cheap down. That's unfortunate. But still, 52 points for Asla Pentagram. That's nuts. They are super far ahead. Foot also. It's the same case as yesterday here. We're halfway through the day, Topies, and now we have 2 teams punching at the top again. Another even for 4 a.m. in the bottom here. If you have 3 points right now, it's only 14 more points up to 17 Gaming right now that are luckily now on 17 points. Beautiful. Always love to see like that. But still, it's easy. 1 good game and you are in the top 8. And again, it's not the same case as you saw yesterday.
Even beyond that, a 10-kill win. And you get to be in the top 3. And that's pretty common, right? Literally, last place with 10 kills would move into first. So it really is anybody's game, and that is due in large part to the sponges we're seeing at the top. But, not surprised with that when it comes to group stages. We often see teams that are starting strong, sort of run with that momentum. We'll see how teams adjust. I think we saw some uncomfortable positions. There was that castle with the fact that there was just no cover outside. If you're not using a bridge to get in or have a wall, there's nothing you can do.
The guys described it perfectly. Like, it's like a mini urban ending, but it's super, super compressed, and also the elevation, the levels inside out. Like, you can just accommodate so many players and teams in that small area, and then it ends up ending not there. Then you just have to kind of fight and get as many points as you can here. And NH Esports did that perfectly. Clean out as much as you can, and then when you get out, try to see if we can get some more kills outside. They went perfectly onto question mark, but once you have to leave the gate, you're just done for.
And that was it. We saw New Happy. We saw him here on the screen a second ago. They were playing, and I think Poro said it, tower defense. They set up for, as you called it, Castle TD. But when it shifted away, the drawbridge has to come down, and the siege is going to get you. But had it shifted into the castle, I think New Happy, that's an easy walk away from them. So again, this is like Foot losing game 1 on the top of the mountain. They can't really be mad. They played well with a defensive position. New Happy made good choices. Unfortunately, the shift put them in a tough situation.
And we love urban ending side. We would have loved to see a castle ending at this level here, at this stage of the competition. That would have been beautiful. But then again, still, Foot deserved this one. They fought for it, and now they're in a good situation here. We're halfway through the day. I gotta say, this Vikendi game was fantastic. I'm super excited for Tego.
I am excited because that's where we're headed next. We're gonna go to Tego, see how it shakes up, give a chance for the players to get some fresh jumps and maybe some fresh drops. Remember, this is a new map. It has not been in play very long, so sometimes the players aren't going to know what to expect. They're going to have to search for those secret dips. They're going to have to find ways to make tough circles work. What do you want to see out of Tego?
I gotta say, I'm just excited to see if we see any hot drops. Like that's the most interesting. Again, we talked a little bit with the players. They're like, it's just one of the maps, or both of the maps from Vikendi. We're gonna get our points maybe on Erangel and Miramar. So yeah, are we gonna need hot drops? That's really my curiosity here.
All right, we'll find out. It's time for us to head over to Tego with game number 4.
Time to Tego.
Ada nyala kayak babi, gua mati tiba-tiba juga jelas anjing.
Thank you very much.
Hey, coba kok ini tiba-tiba diem aja. Oh ya.
Makanya tuh, ini nggak jelas.
Gue pikir lu lagi ngomong sama chat gitu.
Agak. Gue mati. Wah, Tego nih.
Inilah.
But it's about to be very nice.
Ini nih rebek nih anjir.
As it's been much today.
Now I know that these drop spot markers on the map came in a little earlier. I'm not expecting a 4-way hot drop in Yongchong.
You don't think?
I'm not expecting a 3-way hot drop in Terminal. Having said Terminal though, 4 AM in China, in PCL, 4 AM and 17 Gaming loot right next to each other. 17
Gua baru lihat lagi ya.
4 AM will sit on the road up towards
ada budget voting aja. Udah bisa rapid trigger juga masuk Indo. Harganya 26. 5 Mons Geek. Bagus sih. Gue pernah megang ininya, tapi versi lainnya bukan yang rapid trigger ya.
Rapid trigger tuh yang analog, yang berarti kayak kalau macetnya nggak terus-terusan gitu kan?
Iya, yang lo bisa adjust gitu, kayak lo pengen sentuh dikit bisa langsung kesentuh gitu, bisa langsung ke klik gitu bisa.
Actually survives. That man knows his way around a pole.
Dadah.
Even better.
Mama.
I got you. I got a 2.9.
Mama, aku nggak dapat mobil, Mama.
He's ready to take all of them.
He's not leaving him out there. Look at that.
96.
He's so chill. He's like, you see all these poles I got? There's no way they're killing me.
It's just chilling.
Not even.
Gak jadi mati, gak jadi tabrak.
Oh, no.
Oh, kirain. Kirain musuh lagi anjing.
Definitely in need of a little shot to the arm, man. Only 3 points on the day overall. That is... I gotta tell you, I wasn't expecting them to light the world on fire here in the first day, but I was at least expecting them to be in the middle of the pack, maybe creeping up towards the top.
Now in 4AM's defense, the games today have been pretty wild circle-wise too. Having said that, I do believe that I had bigger expectations coming into it, but then we go back and we look through their PCL performance. It was rough. It was just far from pretty. I think 4AM suffers under
di sini nggak bisa yang di rest gitu kan? Nggak bisa yang ambil blue card.
In my opinion, the rosters are just too big. Like they bounce in and out players all the time. Active 8-man rosters where they can take players out for the events to come. And 4AM, I mean, I'm loving the fact that they have Popo here. Popo played a phenomenal qualifier, but he's very new. He's very inexperienced. And maybe for global stage, I mean, if they have big gun experienced players, that could be it. If not,
believe in Bobo, and then go believe that you can go out and make those plays. You have Xiaopian and HSMM, two of the players that pretty much took New Happy from nothing to the best team in China, the best team in the world at one point. They just haven't gotten it to work within them yet. They have Crazy and a phenomenal fragger, and now with Bobo, as I said too, they are a roster that on paper should be one of the best teams in China, arguably one of the best teams in the world. We just have yet to see this specific four-man roster be able to get it going.
And that's fair. And I think, look, you look at it, again, it's 3 matches in, right? And all it's going to take is 1 match, and all of this is forgotten. And you know, you just look at what the total points are at the end of the day and where they sit on the leaderboard, and that's all that matters. So, you know, a little bit slow a slow 3-game start is not the end of the world by any means.
Oh no, still plenty more games to be played here. And I think for 4AM, one of the things that I had hoped for this group stage in particular is that this lobby caters right into what they want to do. They want to play it slow in the bit initially and then bomb it towards the center. But now let's hop on over and get a little bit of a highlight here from Question Mark and see how they qualified on through.
Thorn in a lot of team sides right now as they're sending over nades again. That's a big damage. Oh, Aiden goes down as well. Another nade of Ibby. While all of this has been going on, this is an opportunity for DA to absolutely plow the rest of the lobby. They can just finish off Question.
There you go. You didn't have to hear yourself this time. We got to hear the dulcet tones of one James Carroll. We see beautiful stuff from Question Mark here. Everybody's slowly kind of finding their spot here in Tago. Nothing too spicy early on here, and though we have a number of teams on rotation. But here is a team that I know that everybody wants to hear more about. We're going to take a quick listen in to an interview with 17's Lil Ghost.
泰国的天气气候晚上的气候是最舒服的，已经习以为常了。 这次参加 PGC 的感受是，希望能弥补上一次的遗憾。我觉得，因为今年的赛事增加了很多的新的地图，但我们对泰格、还有雪地、还有新的沙漠地图做了很多的研究，花费了很多的时间去熟悉新的地图，加入比赛中。相比较今年来说，我们对游戏上付出的时间更多。 在比赛上，这次比赛我们很有信心拿下一个很好的成绩，我们很稳定。
Words from the man himself, the Poltergeist. We are very stable. Well, I am glad you guys are because Lord knows I'm not, Toby. Yeah, what
I
do you
feel
got?
like regardless of what I say to that, it's going to come off wrong. So I'm just not going to say anything.
Like putting you in these bear trap type situations. That's what I live for, honestly.
You know what? I don't mind it. It's good. It's good. I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Well,
Twisted Minds. Yeah.
Twisted Minds, the full 4 guys up, and we haven't hit 10 minutes yet.
Don't jinx it. They've still got opponents nearby. Trying to just for once actually keep all 4 alive through an early game. And again, I mean, Twisted Minds, you mentioned it off camera, but you said they are the undisputed champions of losers bracket. I mean, Twisted Minds, as good as they are in grand finals, as consistent as they are at getting podium finishes, they are slow starters. But Tulin's brain works in a way that he needs to see games played on the server against the teams he's going to be going up against on the LAN event. And then once he gets that, he's going to go home, he's going to cook up a recipe for success that very few, if any, teams can replicate to the extent that these guys have done it time and time and time and time again, and they'll come back strong for the losers bracket, for the grand finals, almost, actually, always as well.
You know, it's... I'm going to do something that I know chat hates when I do this, but I'm going to...
That's why you have to do it.
I'm going to do it's very similar to baseball, right? The more often a hitter gets to see a pitcher throw balls, the more they get used to getting used to like how they throw it and what to expect and how it looks when it's coming down. So that's kind of, I would imagine, the same as Batu. The more rounds they get to play, the more often they see these teams, the more information they have, the better they feel about going forward. Now, again, you also like to be able to hit the home run off the first pitch too, right? And that's something that Twisted Minds is more than capable of doing at any given moment, is they can come in here and win a game with, you know, 15 kills. But if it doesn't happen, I think you're not as worried if you're a TM fan.
I'm amazed you just took the time talking in baseball references and never threw in the word curveball. That was a perfect opportunity to say, but they've been fed curveballs all tournaments so
That's
far.
true.
But you know what? I liked it. I liked it. A little bit of baseball analogy. It made perfect sense too, and I couldn't agree with you more.
Okay. Now they again pre-10-minute fighting.
You jinxed them. This is on you, Paul. This is on you.
Honestly, okay. Look, they're so far away from each other. It's fine. Even if they get a knock, it's not like they're gonna get a flush.
Considering who they're surrounded by in question mark, Foot, Twisted Minds himself, Penta and Sixel, I would be surprised if anyone just full-on YOLOs into them. Now, one fun thing here is question mark and Foot Esports in the EMEA usually always play into these takeover circles from each their side of the circle. And right now they're set practically kind of at one bus stop from one another. Now, Foot Esports, they're used to or prefer to be the last team to join the party, but they too have a team behind them in Purple Mood, so we'll see if they run into trouble. Foot, they have had issues losing players early on Takeo in particular on rotation, where again, I mean, the desk broke it down. Teams just don't know this map as well as they know Erangel and Miramar. So you will get caught off sometimes by a player who's in a position you just couldn't have predicted off of, no matter the amount of prep work you had done. And we'll see if Foot, they play a little more cautious here than they have been doing in EMEA.
You know, I'm checking in with ZP on here, the rest of the 4. They are surrounded by PMA and 17 right now, or at least half of 17 as they're in that 2-2 split they normally play. But looking at Foot and looking at Purple Mood, I'm not even sure the Foot was aware that Purple Mood was back there. So 4 AM hopping in the vehicles, again, here you see they get a little bit close to PMA, get shot at, move around, should be fine. I am Pete, gonna smoke this off just to make sure. It's a nervous smoke.
I mean, it makes perfect sense. You just heard 2 vehicles come over the top. You don't know where those remaining players are. Might as well play it safe if you have the smokes to use. Circle down towards the south we go. Expect to see a lot of southern wraps on this one, especially given how many teams are up towards that northeast. PMA, 4 AM. 4 AM are pretty much guaranteed to be coming in all the way down from Songam once the circle comes through.
And right off the bat, Twisted Minds tries to get in the vehicles, get back on the move, and Pentagram's going to be right on their backs, breathing down their throats, or breathing down their necks, rather. That's the other one is a little bit weirder. Question mark, taking a few shots over that as well. Gen G getting involved. Also, is like you said, a number of these teams are trying to go around the outside, but so many Toby are trying to go right down the middle of this thing.
Yeah, unlucky that that Adder felt like shooting his teammate in the back of the head, but at least they get to live through it. Spiro, though, not quite so, because Poro had to jinx them. So first player down this game is going to be one of the players from Twisted Minds. That's now 3 games out of 4. Twisted has been 3 at the
first kill dari Yuan.
Perfectic's going to get knocked here by Wicked as well. Do they have anybody around them? Can they get this res? Looks like Lou might be in a good position to do so. Batu trying to distract, but he's only able to distract one of them. So you can see Adder taking shots over that direction, but unfortunately for him, Akari still has
turnamen ini ya.
PGC.
Gua update PUBG tadi siang.
Sites, but it looks like Batu is just going to go into the city and just
mau
find a
main
building
lah.
to hold on. Yeah, he's
nothing for him to do.
He's playing for survival at this point. As Lou and Perfectix will go down.
Nothing for him to do here at all. Pentagram again. I mean, they're just speaking of teams that, I mean, the whole how you kind of feel it out in the early stages of tournaments. Pentagram is doing the opposite. Is this because they have trillions and trillions of matches played on a global stage before? Most likely, because teams that are uncomfortable, teams that aren't used to the pressure of being on a global stage, usually tend to slow things down a little bit or just completely go kind of headless into fights. Pentagram, they have the perfect in between. They don't go completely overzealous, but they also just don't sit back and hope for the perfect opportunity, because you cannot wait for that to come around. You have to make that happen yourself. And again, I mean, Pentagram, they are, at least off of today's games, pretty much perfect in their timing in some of these fights they're taking.
Absolutely. I mean, they're not second-guessing themselves, right?
Exactly.
They're seeing that they have an advantage situation, and they're saying, you know what, let's go. Let's push it. Let's get it done quickly and move on. Shabe will find Kid. Kid tried to do a little bit of a seat swap there. Didn't work out for him, though. And now Shabe inside the compound. Teddy Just gonna hop in the vehicle. Yeah, just get on.
Okay, bye. That's right. It didn't work out. Shots are still being fired from a bit of a distance as the remaining 2 PMA players are trying to do some damage from afar. But Xiaobei will be able to stay alive.
Agak menggila gitu ya.
Coming home, but without his team.
Itu dia aku pergi.
Kurang boleh lah
PMA will be playing as 3. Now the only thing they've got to worry about really is
Dia balik ke sarang
that have just entered the zone. We'll see where they decide to go once this next circle pops, but already, I mean, it feels like there's a lot of real estate, a lot of room in this circle to play, and there's still 60 alive.
And again, this is very 4am-esque in the, as I said before, they wanting to
Siapa jangan pakai mobil di luar zona nanti?
potentially looking to try and go somewhere center. Issue is, as we look at this new center circle, got enter force 36 in the compound. Outside of that, there isn't really anything to play around.
It's not great. Hosan, that's, I mean, New Happy's going to have to make their way down in there. Genji, Howl, already on the south side of the city. 17 looks like they might be creeping over there. So the vehicle, they're just kind of scouting out.
Mereka main 4 match sekarang. Erangel, Tego, Vikendi sama Miramar.
Sandok nggak dimainin lagi deh.
Sandok nggak pernah dimainin bro.
They're just, again, forever rapping, just constantly rapping.
Terlalu kecil ya. Nggak pernah dimainin,
when they think they are going to find
Kecepatan nanti, sepi nanti, cepat selesai nanti.
And that was the other side of the coin that we saw in China, them continuing to wait for the perfect hole to get into that circle, rapping, going around team after team, just to in the end having lost their rotations round. That only there was out of the balloon.
Emang ada si ini, si Twist.
And they fell down.
It's just
udah kata 3 bro, yang mau dimain placement aja dia ngapain?
Iya. Ngasih poin ke orang lain nanti.
Tapi dia bottom 8 masalahnya, bukan top 8, bottom 8 itu. Kalau dia bisa, kalau si 17 itu, 17 udah pasti lolos sih.
And fortunately for them, it looks like Purple Mood actually moved out of a spot to go.
17 pasti winner bracket dia. Asla pasti, Foot pasti, Sedition lang pasti.
17 just off to the east of that. They're going to get shot at from range by Genius. But other than that, pretty clean here for 17.
Well, Sushu.
Itu ada heart rate-nya dong.
Hopefully be able to stop and get healed up at some point soon.
Kalau jantungan tuh kelihatan.
Andio. Majority of teams, but we heard from 17 Gaming. They've spent a lot of time. And else, of course, we will come to expect. So they have found themselves a dip to play from.
Nice little spot too, yeah. And New Happy.
Udah berada nih orang depan nih.
I mean, you feel like they're aware that Howl is
there.
Maybe they spotted somebody, but they just don't know where they all are. So this is very methodical, very slow for New Happy because they know that the chances of them getting taken by surprise are pretty high here, but chances of them of taking Howl by surprise even larger as the grenade's going to come out on the snowfell. That's going to be 2. He will find none, though, so that may pause things down enough here for Howl to regroup.
Yep, Ruin now has to try and buy some time. They do have the match on a wide flank around. If he can come in and backstep from behind, that would be insane. He has 2 players pretty much lined up in just about 10 seconds time. You can see how trying to throw flashes on over, trying to slow things down and allow for the match to come through from the blue and potentially find a double knock here. It would be absolutely insane if they're able to buy enough time for that to happen.
Oh, Ruin, you just got to play it slow, play it slow. Laza will get spotted out by December 12th, unfortunately. And there you go, the Mad will finally reveal his position. We'll find December 12th. And now the sandwich is on. CC going to just push into Ruin. Ruin will find that knock, and now it's just down to Ming and Nan.
Nice little lean there.
Why?
Ming torn apart. Now finally the mat has been dealt with. He'll be able to stay put for now, but Nan is all alone. He's up against one on the side of Howl on the other. That's Ruin trying to get something going, but here comes Jim G saying, a third-party opportunity. Don't mind if we do.
Oh, udah di third party sih.
Oh enggak, Hal dah mati duluan.
If Nan can actually get these 2 reses, that would be unbelievable. And you can see PO and Songyang just kind of
sini
looking up over that ridge line, but they don't have
an angle.
They're not seeing it. They know
aku
there's 2 bodies over here. There we go. There's gonna spot PO.
Alang mak kelihatan.
The grenade will come through.
Imagine that it's just a question of time before.
Boom.
134. kupingku berdenging.
Kalau di pull lamaan dikit mati tuh anjir.
Di pas drop pertama mati
Pas
tuh.
drop pertama meledaknya mati tuh anjir.
What the fuck Ustaz?
Oh, mortar anjing, what the fuck.
Mortar aja.
Siapa main mortar tuh?
Gua nggak ngerti itu yang main mortar kayak apa.
Ya gue nggak paham ya, orang-orang kayak mana?
Big time pressure here.
Oh, fuck,
from a number of different teams, not the least of which being T-Bone and the Foot Boys. You can see they are trying to find a way inside this zone.
Okay.
They picked 4 a.m.'s little spot here, and they're just going to crash it.
Get back inside the building. If Rudy just before. Now it's going to be a smoke deployed as well, trying to grind out some more time.
Wah, mati lah.
Dia nggak lihat apa? Dia keluar. Kelihatan Su.
Enggak dia.
Yo.
Depan ada tuh bang.
Had no idea even where he was, just managed to find him.
No way.
Holy shit. Since when Bangalore here?
Bangalore main
Ngelor anjing.
Dapat foot. Oh, dapat yang satu. Enggak jadi. Satu aja cukup.
Yeah, spotted the first one for the shot, and the second one he realized there was more than that in front of him. He had to fall back to safety.
Bisa-bisa dia main up.
Trying to suppress and doing a good job of that too. He's a solo player up on this hillside. He has to force T-Bone down. He cannot allow him to peek over.
Wah, foot ngetrol anjir.
On the other side is able to do the damage needed. 3 kills now for 4 AM as they continue to rack up points.
4 a.m. is doing
Masih
amazing.
berapa? 4.
I don't even know how crazy manages to live through all of that.
Masih akhir berarti?
But he does, and Purple Moon
Masih akhir ya?
trying to keep an eye
Oh,
on
nice.
him on the north side. They've cleaned up whatever they like to clean up here on the south beam. He's still alive.
Apalagi abis ini? Ada nggak ininya? Apa namanya? Kayak list.
Too much longer for this world. E36 has also found from their compound inside the center of the circle. Thunder's landing some shots. You're seeing some blood splatters.
Enggak, bukan list mapnya. Abis ini apa?
Penontonnya langsung.
They have 4 AM again. I mean, 4 AM stuck on vehicles and rucks. Nothing else to work with outside the circle. The tires have been popped long ago. I'm not sure how they're planning on getting out of here.
Bang, wah buta. Oh, buta. Buta mak kau.
Mama ada Sky.
Ada flash babi gitu.
Aduh, ada flash. Aku tak bisa lihat.
Aku tak nampak.
Aku tak nampak.
Aku
tak bisa tengok macam tu.
Dapat tengok lah. Kan nih.
They've got Sixel just off to their east, PLM off to their west.
Oh, double headshot.
Find the opening knock. Should be another revive coming in here, but again, 4 a.m. has just been beaten and battered. Gotta imagine they don't have much left in the hands of oh, now that second knock on a Bobo, actually, that's huge.
I mean, they are going to die. There's no
Maaf, tadi ada trampolin oke.
There's no reason for HSMM to actually try and go for the
Ajar ngasih men, mati dulu.
Might as well come over and try and see if they can claim those points. Off of it, able to get one, gets the second as well. The crowd once again goes.
Wah, ditampung.
What the hell?
They are looking real good right now. Sue's
ini PGC-nya di mana? Tempat ininya?
Thailand.
Now HSM, the last one alive. Sixel, they are trying to do as much as they can.
Itu 4X out. 4X
out.
Oh, X itu temen.
Apa namanya?
Itu temen anjir.
Layarnya hitam tadi.
See if we can maybe get over there and
kapan ya ada di Indo pengen nonton
apa?
Kayak gini
emaknya pemain ya tadi ya.
Kalau PUBG nggak mungkin.
Ya, udah terlalu mati di Indo. Apapun lah, kalau kayak apa.
Orangnya di Discord pada main Sanho doang aja. Dulu gue di Discord mainnya Sanho doang aja.
Gue mainnya Vikendi doang kan.
Push us, I mean, we'll just maintain control.
The grenades from bowling a little bit short, it looks like.
Oh, Blue Zone.
Iya. Oh.
But that's gonna be good news for Purple.
Andeo.
Cangkem ah. Itu apa? Itu
It's gonna pop, as you said, just Look at this carport that's going on the edge here. Just nothing going on. And again,
What the apa
it's
ini?
the circle is.
Wah, ini kali 2.
There's so many
Kok paling gue nggak demen.
that this thing could be crashed, and nobody has tried.
Even the compound is saying, guys, it's over here. Just come take a house. It's free real
Groja.
estate.
Oh, Groja.
Meantime, Pio
Mati.
swings on
Groja.
over. Does with the Groza where the Groza does it best. Peeks on forward, finds the double. Should be able to
Auk
get
meta ya, baru pakai Auk semua aja.
down.
Apa di map ini emang spawn rate-nya Auk?
Push on through, but these
Oh,
shots
nggak tahu kalau spawn rate tapi emang aku kan gitu ya. Kayak better M4 gitu.
Ya sejak dikeluarin dari airdrop banyak banget. Oh my god. Dia orang mau ngapain? Oh my god.
Bro trying montage.
Takes a little bit of damage as well. Hasn't spotted out Esther. The grenades are coming through though. Gotta imagine it's only time.
Whoa! Nice!
Finished off.
Huge!
Oh my god, insane.
What the fuck?
Damn, she's hard, bro.
Wait,
I mean, yeah, wow, nice nade.
Lopped on forward from Lil Goes there. I'm not sure if he shot the grenade from the
Made me daddy here.
What the fuck?
What the fuck, bro? What the hell?
Chilling things out.
Ya mati. LG rata.
In the compound breach.
Oh, Sixel, they immediately get those 2 knocks out, like, where's the vehicles? Where are they? Let's just go, and they're going to try to get in there as quickly as possible. LG has the smoke laid down.
Aku tak bisa buka pintu.
Flush. Oh my god.
Door stuck.
Door stuck. Sixel as well. LG trying to hold the line here, but they are just getting picked apart by a combination of Sixel and EG. Mime, the last one alive. Can he get the revive?
And this is what everyone was waiting for. That one team that dared to crash in this group.
Tolong aku.
Siapa yang nge-vape di sini?
We are the ones that play it smart, and no one is the first team to crash a compound. We'll be the third party pickup, and now, well, welcome 6th party. They're all in the compound now.
Let's see what the duo from LG can get done here as the 4-man push coming in. Rella will get 2. Mime will try to come around from the other side, but it might be a little bit very low. Mime has to stop down and try to reset.
In a matter of 15 seconds, every single team left alive crashed straight into this compound. But Thunder's done.
Aku nggak mau pick.
Thunders will take out Mime. LG. Sixel will be able to get the res. Off back to 3 strong. Thunders finds Lorena through the window. What a peak battle happening. Finds MML. And now it's just down to 1. Purple Mood proving everybody wrong as they come in here and absolutely dominate this Chinese powerhouse.
They push in.
Oh my
god. Mentok dia, mentok apinya.
Terbakar. Ada after effect-nya.
Makes their way into top 4.
They've still got a lot.
Alamak, gue kira mantul katanya gitu.
They are down to a duo. There are a lot of full teams here left.
Legacy. Aku kira
haven't even talked about them yet. They've managed to make it in
Aku
here.
kira Molotov mantul ya.
This game so far, and
aku lupa dari kaca.
They're in the compound. They have looks like E36 basically pushed into one building of their own, and now 17 has to come in from the north side, but they've got to make their way across the road. This is going to be real tough.
Logic.
Decision here is, do we push south or we heard all the commotion down there earlier, or do we try to take the fight northeast? We have seen players.
Ini masih berempat aja masih. Itu lagi asik juga tuh nge-front tuh kayak.
West now, and then follow on the southern side of the
Bentar, gua mau buka minum.
Ya baik. Might be eyeing a straight on
buka minum dulu ini nge-front di situ.
Legacy not trying to take.
Bentar lah, aus. Kata mama aku harus minum air putih.
Ini boleh diminum kan?
Oh god, they got the cards, they got the Panzerfaust. It's not gonna work though.
Bang.
Oh, Legacy. Oh, Legacy masuk.
Dapetin. Udah gila.
Not even gonna get a chance to use it as E36 just cleans them up.
That seemed a little.
Ay, cantiknya. Mas sudah. Serunya game ini.
Takut kali, uleu. Wait.
Bagus banget nih gamenya.
Yakin itu lagi. Aja.
Either way, Legacy. Now looking across the street, 8 kills in the bag for them. Huge game. This is a big pickup.
Leo.
What's been otherwise a little bit of a slow start to their day.
Wow, wow,
Turning things around. As they can
Leo.
manage to get this win, they will be right up at the top.
Wow.
Gang here.
Itu dia lihat.
Star-Lord and the rest of E36, they've had
Apa tuh?
a banger.
Apa tuh, Man?
Apa tuh, Man?
Apa tuh?
Para nongol,
Use that victory to put a little exclamation point on the end of it.
While Japan might not be
Itu
the biggest
dia bukan
threat,
shotgun kan? Bukan M24 kan itu?
making a late game presence, and here they are.
Iya shotgun aja itu.
Three.
Shotgun aja bukan
It's been a
M24.
good day for them overall. Let's see if they can potentially bring this one home.
Kan the best.
Jarang deh anjir pakai M249.
Everybody in this arena.
Enggak M24 bukan M24.
M24 ini sniper.
Sniper.
Purple mood. Can they pull off the impossible?
M249 mah enggak enak anjir.
They baited the audience here time and time again yesterday. They were oh so close to
Sini M249 kan ya mesin gun itu.
They don't have to leave their compound. They don't have to leave their side of the street.
Tapi tinggalnya airdrop tuh mantap tuh. Ngebim.
I hope they've read the situation and understands that they have the entire south under their control. Fluky hasn't cleared the furthest west compound yet, and I think that's what they're looking to do. But since no shots have been fired, I think they're expecting that the remaining players are all
Itu dia manjat dong.
of the street.
Wah, manjat.
I
Wah.
think the play here, if they could do it, you keep an eye on here. You wait forever. You don't make any move until you absolutely have to. But if you can find a knock, just anywhere on either team. But it doesn't even matter. Legacy's going to go ahead and push forward. They're taking this thing into their own hands. Star-Lord wasn't even expecting it. Pulls around the side of the wall. Gets flashbang.
Hormat kawan.
I love this aggression. The smoke's deployed means that they're trying to isolate Purple Moon on the southern side. They don't want any third-party interference. They just want to push forward. Take the
Holy shit.
From Legacy, this is the strong fighting Brazilian team we've seen before in Nations Cup, in previous tournaments in the NA region as well. And
sisa dua nih.
Tinggal nunggu ngetrol aja.
4 lawan 2.
Bro, lihat apa bro? Ada orang situ.
Nonton gak cuy TLGC cuy?
Absolute.
Ai mules aku.
Lemes gua cuy.
It does not get any clearer than that. Now they have this.
Aku lihat musuh disuruh hormat dari tadi.
Streak to worry about. Thunder 7 points already, 7 kills, but Legacy, they do not want to leave this to chance. They want to secure this victory.
Kita lihat nih, kemana rumahnya anjir? Zonanya.
23 points.
Rumah mana dia? Iya, tengah. Oh, Dallas ya.
Just full-on tunnel visioning the furthest west building. They're expecting that someone is still in and around.
Itu airdrop 4 nempel kayak gitu.
Because they went hectic at one point and they were fighting through that and same kill V2. So it would have been very difficult for them to
ketawa gitu. Ngetrol aja.
Itu di send in anjir. Gue cek. Peng, duar meledakin depan rumah.
Trying to look at the utility in the hands here. Yeah, you can see them swapping smokes. There's not a lot of them to go around, but you gotta have those smokes ready to go.
Paket buat siapa ya Mas Duar?
That street, and I can't imagine Purple Mood is sitting
Duar.
I feel like the utility is what's gonna save him. Fluky 1
nade. If you can
find one,
bisa lah kalau nge-throw satu.
Nothing to work with the Thunders. That's what's gonna give them this win. Right now, Legacy is in a good position for them to fall down. But then again, we have seen Purple Mood hit some good shots today. They took the fight 2v3 to Xiao Yi Shenlong. Let's see if they can find Miracle win of 2v4 as well.
That's what I'm looking for. Don't use the if you're Legacy, you're if you're Legacy, you're throwing Purple Mood, forcing them to push into you. And look at that, Gizero.
Mati ya.
Sudah.
It's over lah. It's over lah.
Yo, nice.
What a performance from Legacy. A valuable 13-kill win, and they are.
¿Qué pasa?
¿Qué pasa?
They have good reason to be just that. The last team to join the compound, the team that waited the longest, able to come out victorious. Great performance, but you cannot take anything away.
Itu ada bukan? Itu ada alien di meja 3 yang dari Monster Inc.
Kontraknya mahal men. Pengen men.
Is a team that has gone under many people's radar,
but
they're here to fight.
Absolutely are, and the Brazilian power gets their first victory of the day and the first victory of the tournament. Let's throw it over the analyst desk to hear what they have to say.
What is this? Mobile Legend
Anjay M2.
The journey to a true legacy starts with a chicken dinner, and they get that right now. Gazera leads the charge, and man, these guys played that incredibly well.
I thought it started with a step of 1,000 miles.
Well, the first journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step, but you gotta solidify a legacy by winning chicken dinners. I'm just saying.
Yang granat ini nih. Ini nih gila.
Langsung hilang ya.
Ngehold di rumah
itu ngetrol. Itu ngetrol.
Nah ini wah aku
And they
buta.
did so perfectly timed. Once LG was on the other side, kind of stuck, and they got
Wow, ini bagus banget tuh.
coming out of Songyang as well.
Ini bagus anjing.
That double nade opened it up for
Itu
GS there.
seksi banget men.
Sumpah.
Ya juga yang ini nih.
Good shots from Robin coming in as well.
Orang-orang lempar granat bagus-bagus aja.
Alah, tak bisa buka, tak bisa buka.
Itu marah-marah tuh dia. Woi, buka pintu.
Buka pintu.
Expected it. Like that was really smart. They blocked out that corner.
Belum kebuka aja, Bu.
They can widen out, right?
I think that's a symptom. Sometimes teams just wait too long, and that's right. That push takes
Dapat berapa kill tuh anjir LG sih? Oh 11, 13.
13 ya.
once they drop
Oh ya
Star
anjir, main itu.
E36 was deleted from
7 tuh, ada hasilnya 7 sendiri, separuh sendiri ya.
They spread their arms as proud as they can be to walk away with that win, and they deserve it. So congratulations
Tapi tadi
to Legacy.
si Legacy foto ininya posenya kayak pemain bola gitu.
I think they'll need to go forward. Gazera doesn't look like he has any intentions to stop anytime soon.
No, and for 13,000 or 13,000 pick on a fantasy, that's a pickup right there. Super good to see them come in here. 4 games played now. We got Miramar. If they can build a little bit of momentum off this, they might solidify themselves right there. And again, we're talking about a bit jump. They were 10th or so going into this. Not that many points. Huge game for them. They put themselves straight into the top 4, top 3.
I mean, we did say that. We said any team that comes out with a 10-kill win and puts up the numbers can jump to the top.
Last 2 match enggak, last 2 match Miramar semua.
And now they are not only in competition, but really in a place where they can play whatever consistency game they want going forward and try to and really kind of solidify that top 8 for them.
And for a young crew like these guys, right?
Cuman PUBG udah berat banget anjir.
That is huge for them. That momentum and the morale and the confidence that these guys are
FPS gua kemarinan tuh nggak nyampe 100 ya.
Like we say confidence because that circle stuck. That was a hard circle to play, especially if you weren't in the compound where E36 was. And the fact that they
Padahal gua nggak yang gimana-gimana anjir.
able to get E36, the true defenders of the compound out is going to give them
Orang
such
gila.
a big move because it was smart play from Legacy.
And you can see the utility usage is just what puts him in there. 22 smokes, 14 nades.
Aku beli galon cukup lah ya waktunya.
Beautiful executed by here. That was honestly also just straight out of the playbook. That is exactly how, when you have a compound in the middle, when you have especially such a big compound there, I was contemplating when is the push gonna be, because E36 was on a super greedy 2-1-1 split, had most parts of the compound, actually got into a good spot, took the correct kind of side, but then Legacy, good timing on the push. You see E36, they're super focused on trying to get the kills across the road, right? When Luminosity, they were breaching, they were like, okay, there's some free points, let's try to get it. Legacy pushed that exact time, stabilized, got healed up, got boosted up, and then took it on here. And Gazera, 7 kills, but only 400 damage. That's a lot of steals coming in there. LFP, of course, putting in a lot of damage coming in.
Yeah, LFP deserves to roll up that sleeve after the amount of work that he did, 762 damage. Legacy played the timing right. And you brought up people needed to crash that compound. The problem was everything around the compound was basically like a moat, just a giant open space. And so you saw with Luminosity, they couldn't try to crash until they got a knock on the team that was holding them. And that seemed to be the case across the board. Gazera does get the man of the match, deservedly so. We saw kill after kill, but also he was willing to be the tip of the spear. He was willing to go in there and start kind of follow when he gets with LFP, but also take some really good shots when it was necessary.
Yeah, good nade as well, opened up, and then the follow-up nade as well by the boys. Honestly, super well executed. I'm just saying because Perfective has not been putting up the points. 23 bomb for them coming in. That's going to be huge. They're going to be putting in a lot of points. They had 9 before this. They're going to be 32 and in 2nd place.
Gila, GP 10 deh.
Huge game for them.
I want to give a shout out to Purple Mood Gaming. I mean, this is a team that got 2nd, 13 points total. I thought they were out of it back around 8 or 9 because they were rotating on the outside. They were in scrap after scrap after scrap. And then all of a sudden I see them cleaning up this fight that was between LG and Sixel, and they did it so well. They're going to move up to 9th off the back of that, but here it is. Legacy jumps to 3rd.
Yeah, huge for them. I got to say though as well with the Purple Mood, it felt like they were just feeding off the energy the crowd was giving them, because we were multiple times like when the castles are going on as well. I feel like they were almost dying. Like they almost again. They stayed 2 alive. They squeezed out so many points out of this game that they probably shouldn't have. But yeah, 22 and 9th here, good for them. And again, even if you're Howl on 8 points, all positive mental energy on 5, like just one good game still, one big game, and you're gonna be in there.
Wide open. Now it's not over just today. We've got 12 games in total to play, but getting that lead when you're in a scenario where top 8 is all that matters, starting out big on day 1 so that you can rest. You can come in not stressed and not forced with your back against the wall on the final day of play is important. So Legacy gonna be happy with that. But again, Purple Mood, you could hear the crowd come alive inside of this facility. And it was such a hard circle to play. There was no cover. It was 2 in a row. Every time we've seen this Tego Vikendi, yes, the players don't know the maps as well, but the maps are also making life very hard for these players.
Yeah, for sure. Like a compound ending like this here, especially when you have a road, a kind of T intersection road like that, it is just super hard because if you have to cross later and you have two big teams that are sitting on the other side, you're going to get absolutely destroyed, right? So yeah, get the most out of it. And just wait to make sure you have the right timing in the breach if you know it's going to end there.
Right. And I think even with E36, this idea that they had a lot of ground to cover, they probably were shocked to be even, like, how do we defend this?
Right.
And I think that that's what a lot of teams are going to be thinking about when it comes to these 2 maps in the future. Stick around. We're going back to Miramar in just a few minutes.
Oke, sambil nunggu. Ini agak lama ini.
Oh, what is this ass, man? Oh my god. Oke, aku ambil air dulu. Aku mau coba launch PUBG.
Unleash my shopping spree.
Duty free from big brands.
At all King Power stores and King Power online.
It's possible. Enjoy great selections, promotions, and privileges.
The power of possibilities. King Power.
Hanuman's forces have set up their barrier. They are waiting for sunrise before they release their guard.
With my magic, the night will turn. Enemies beware. Mayara is coming for you.
ยืนหนึ่งมันไม่ง่าย แต่ไม่ยากที่จะทำแค่ตั้งใจและสนุกกับมัน
เท่าแก่น้อยตอบโจทย์ทุกไลฟ์สไตล์แบรนด์สาหร่ายยอดขายอันดับ 1
ถ้าสาหร่ายต้องเท่าแก่น้อย
아침에 일어나서 가장 먼저 무엇을 하나요? 에스프레소와 책 한 권을 읽습니다.
Bellísimo, amigo, no re fácil, amigo.
More water.
Bueno, perfecto. 我们生意新闻设计师刚组建不久的新队伍，这次能进 PGC 已经大大超乎我们的预期了，我们一定会加油的。
Here's the weather update for the Rondo area. And from the Rondo region, if you've been yearning for the sun after yesterday, please check your flight schedules to ensure your travel plans.
Why did you come to Rondo? Stand your ground.
Hello, everybody. We are back once again for our final 2 games of the day. Toby, we are headed over to the dusty dunes of Miramar to wrap things up.
I like it.
I know
like
you do.
it
Everybody does. Everybody loves Miramar. Who doesn't love Miramar? Well, we got through the insanity of Tego and Vikendi, and we got to see a legacy win here on the final game of Tego. So who do you think, going into Miramar, now that we're getting back a little bit more to what we're, everybody's used to playing, a little bit more comfort zone, what are you kind of expecting to see? Is there anybody that's really kind of been slow to start, maybe, that you're looking to kind of maybe ramp things up here in these final 2 games?
I think, to go off of what you just said, comfort is
comfort is key.
We're due a Chinese win.
You think so?
I believe we are.
So.
We've seen 17 play better and better into it. We've seen New Happy as well get things going really, really well with this. I don't want to say newer lineup, because they have played quite a few tournaments together, but this new play style of New Happy being very cautious. And if there's one thing that works for you in Miramar, sure, if you get a couple of circles going your way, that is, you can really play Miramar slow. You don't have to aggress, you don't have to bomb at center. You can stay out on those edges for a good while and get things going, and that is going to play right into the pocket of a lot of those Chinese teams.
I think you're right about New Happy. I think 17 was another one that got very, very close that last game, only to have things brutally ripped out of their hands. But I'm going to go with Luminosity.
Fair?
We are going down to Miramar. This is America's territory, baby. And I expect the boys from LG to put on a show here in the final 2 games of the day. We've already seen Legacy represent the Americas regions here. Let's see if we can get a little bit more in there, as we haven't seen anything from Europe either. But again, typically slow as far as group starts go. We did see Foot.
I was going to say,
really
is this where I remind you that Foot won Vikendi?
No. But, I mean, I guess the argument that would be in a lobby with Twisted Minds, would you be expecting Foot to be the one to be the first European team to get a win?
In group stages, yes.
Okay.
If grand finals come around, I think we're looking more in a tied situations. Foot is known to be a team that usually comes off very strong from the start. They play confident from start to finish. I've had plenty of talks with Tipo in the IGL from Foot Esports in the past of him saying, as an IGL, as a newer IGL too, having never played that role in like the beginning of his career, he said the main thing for me is I know my guys can frag. Like, they will shoot everything I tell them to, but I have to believe in my own calling. You talked about second guessing earlier, how we like Pentagram and being able just to commit to decision. This is something Foot has been dealing with, saying we have all these great ideas, but because I'm hesitating, because I can't commit to one decision, we end up kind of choking ourselves. And now T-Bone, well, it seems like he's making those decisions fast, and that's what's been paying off for these balls.
Well, we are headed up to the northwest for a little bit of well, actually, it's a very empty circle right now. There's a lot of teams kind of heading off. It was very far south, so this one going a little bit farther north maybe than someone expects. So we'll see a little bit more rotation action going on here as we check in with Tanawat and Purple Mood. They, I think they already had a bunch of fans here already. I think they may have gained a few more in that last game here, at least in studio.
Definitely. Definitely, they had a good final stand there in the previous one. 4 AM here as well. We know as a team who, regardless of the playing path, will do absolutely everything. It's like a Miramar game doesn't start for 4 AM before they cross past Hacienda. No matter how far away from Hacienda these planes are, they will get there. And Bobo, well, he's not only going to get to Hacienda, he's going to continue even further north.
And that's the thing. The other thing about it is, like, I think I told you this yesterday. I hate that loot spot. Like, I absolutely hate Hacienda as a loot spot, just because you're surrounded pretty much on all sides by other other really good loot spots that all good teams are going to be looting at. So it just feels like, I don't know.
Hacienda, El Patron.
It feels like your rotation paths out of that spot are always a little bit more dicey, a little bit more dangerous. But again, it's still it's a great spot in terms of where it is on the map.
I was going to say, and in this particular case, with the plane being as far south and 4 AM pretty much knowing they're the most northern team, it's going to play in even better for them. I think they're going to be set very solid here. They have easy access to the center of the circle, which is a place we know they like to get to.
The issue is for the first 4 games, they haven't been able to find the entrance they were looking for to get to the center of the circle. So 4AM might just be able to find that. Howl, same thing for them. Want to go center a little later into the game, but they're getting kind of caught in all these edge team rotations. And hopefully this time around, they'll have a little bit of an easier access to that northern side of the circle.
Well, if nothing else, they are staying together on this rotation. So if anything should come up and surprise them, anything maybe try to bite them while they make their way through, they'll be able to turn their full attention over towards it. Meanwhile, LG, a very 2-2 split here. They've
Man, itu detak jantung tinggi banget, man.
Down behind, so you can see that they're actually getting a little bit close here. It looks like Mime and Snakers will pull things off, but we are going to take a quick second here to look at Twisted Minds and see how they got here.
Will find a Snaker's grenade as well. He knows exactly where they are. Does he see Penta? Yeah. He does.
Pero kemana?
There it is. Okay, he gets the
Mandi.
down. Adam's down. STK is falling apart before our very eyes.
Complicated means that now there's some breathing room around the outside of it. Luminosity Gaming those spots.
Well, that wasn't Twisted Minds, but it's okay.
They were in the pit, though, kind of. Twisted
I heard
Minds.
my voice, and I was like, "What's going on here?" It's but yeah, it's okay. It's.
I thought I got a more manly voice there for a second. It's like, oh wait, it's Poro.
You get a little southern twang in your Danish there.
I'm still practicing my y'all.
Yeah.
It doesn't come natural to me. Maybe over this tournament, I'll get in there every now and again.
We'll get you there. We'll get you there. We'll keep working on it. But there you go. You see Batu with the boys. Very, very split in the center of this zone, but not a position that they are unused to or uncomfortable. Oh my goodness, Ruin just got absolutely picked off by Zest from the high ground.
Again, you gotta come in ready, you gotta come in warm, and that is something Genius seemingly have finally got themselves dialed in on. We saw it from Vart, the previous Vikendi match, how he was just beaming people with the Mini 14, and now, well, Zest can do it with the MK as well.
Do they get this res, do you think?
Doubt.
You gonna doubt? Extra
Especially
doubt?
considering he's already dead, so.
Is he?
Yeah.
How'd they pick him off? He was shooting at his toesies. He still had full health.
And then he got headshotted and died.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess he won't get res then.
I mean, if that happens, that's. I didn't know he had blue zone blue chips in competitive.
There's a lot of things you don't know, Toby.
And that is true. I will gladly admit that. Yep, that is.
Although I think that this might not be one of them. Well, Purple Mood stopping in at the Church of St. Los, as we call it in the Americas. I don't know what you guys call it. It kind of irritates me now that I have to admit the fact that we name a church after one of our most beloved North American players from the past, and he just happens to be from Europe. That just kind of hurts my soul in a way, but you know what? I love Los HD so much that I don't even care. Meanwhile, we check in with LG 2-2 split. Farthest northmost team here, although 4AM getting a little bit close as Foot making their wrap around.
Yep, trying to make their way up towards the north. They like to enter these circles from the northern side of the of it, and it makes perfect sense for them to just wide rep on this. Again, Foot, a team like question mark like 4AM who just wants to get in the quiet side of the circle. Make space for yourself, play that edge to the full of its ability, and they know, as with everyone else, it was a southern plane into a northern circle. No one's coming in from La Coparia. No one's coming in from Oasis. Get on up.
Yeah,
and also, we don't need Mirados. We can just drive the coupe, and that's fine. That's why they flipped it, so no one can steal it. Smart play, Foot.
5 head stuff.
Exactly.
5 head stuff. Well, Vard now on the SLR after hitting some of the most disgusting Mini 14 headshots that I've seen in quite some time. We'll see if he can find a little bit of the same success there with the SLR as Yuta is looking around as well. Just question mark on the very, very south side, taking their time rotating in. But for the most part, been a very calm, cool, and collected early game.
Yeah. Again, Miramar is going to be, I would imagine, the vast majority of this lobby's favorite map in terms of being allowed to play the style. that you kind of came in wanting to play. We still don't have, even though we have teams that are kind of known for going center aggressive early on, we don't really have anyone who's claimed that role within this lobby yet. Everyone, if possible, are trying to stick up to the edges for the most part, which is why losers and winners is going to be so much fun, because even though it's the same teams, you can expect to see a lot of these teams be forced to place very different play styles than what they're doing here in the group stages. It's always so interesting seeing how fast teams have to adapt going from bracket to bracket.
Sure. Yeah, I don't know what the general consensus is these days in EMEA, but I know that in the Americas at least, Miramar is far and away the favorite map of the players, and they are huge fans, big fans of any time that we get to play on it. So that's with or without Sandstorms.
Also, big fan of the changes that they made. Chalk stop, amazing. Water treatment that we're seeing here, amazing. I think water treatment slipped a lot of people's kind of eyes, and that wait, water treatment.
Bisa dapat G-coin ya?
Also phenomenal changes. Just accessibility to rotation.
Nggak bisa dapat G-coin.
Have been phenomenal.
Katanya 400 G-coin will be appear on screen after.
That I think could maybe use a little touch.
Oh, ini udah lewat.
I think all the changes that we've seen on Miramar have been for the better.
Ini di pin ini.
Kind of evolution of these maps.
And emergency pickups too. That's, I feel like e-pickups have just opened up.
Belum ini muncul di screen soalnya bukan di
this map as well. So haven't seen any so far today.
Oh, it's been quiet on that front.
It has been quite quiet on the e-pickup front. Everybody really just opting for vehicle rotations both days, really, Group A and Group B. So maybe now that we get one day under the waist for both groups, maybe we see a little bit more willingness to do risky things tomorrow and the following day.
We might just, let's see that circle. It's going to swing down south. I guess Twisted Minds are going to be happy they left Spiro down by Power Grid, because now they can go down south, go back to the tried and tested Power Grid where they've been time and time again, and play out from there regardless of where this next circle is going to take us after Phase 2 is over.
A warm, comfy blanket.
Essentially,
yeah.
Coba nih 4 kode ini, Ran. Gua nggak tahu itu tadi ada spam gitu sih.
There pretty easily as well. I think the only pressure they may receive or have received was from Gen G, but they're in a 2-2 split, so it wasn't going to be that much pressure either way. Meanwhile, question mark. Remember, they were taking their sweet time coming up from the south side. We've got a couple over at Bricks, but they're still stretching their tendrils out, seeing how far they can get in.
Foot now.
Ini match berapa sih? 5 ya? Ini nanti bakal muncul nih.
And now the
Habis ini first team elimination.
We're really back to the we don't get any circles situation now. I know we got 9 in one game, but can we please just spread it out maybe a little more across the different games? Because now, well, maybe we might play on the edge.
800 sampai 5.000 G-coin. Kayak gacha gitu mungkin.
Catch your blessings all at once, and you just have to deal. And
Kodenya.
Regardless.
True.
Laza looks like they are going to be able to get that revive off.
Bisa buat semuanya apa?
Schofield just spotting out the enemies on the hill. There's your send, and there's our E-pickup as well, just off in the distance.
Gak ngerti, tapi kayaknya semuanya deh, gue rasa. Soalnya kan gacha. Gitu, paling dapetnya kayak model dapat crate gitu, nanti lo kudu bukanya tuh gacha dapat berapa.
Masalahnya di kode di mana tuh nggak tahu.
G-coin tuh yang cash-nya kan, kayak VP kan berarti.
Iya berarti.
Di game-nya berarti. Gimana ya nanti? Itu kayaknya 4 kodenya gue nggak tahu ya itu bener atau enggak, tapi ya gitulah. Itu cuma 400 G-coin tapi harusnya. Nggak tahu itu kode bener atau enggak. Ada yang spam gitu.
Of course, I say it, that nobody's using the E-pickups. Now all of a sudden, everybody's using the E-pickups.
Miramar is very emergency pickup friendly, so I guess we were just waiting for Miramar to come around, and then we have circles that shift down into a plateau. It's kind of taken for granted, or maybe it is just teams learning now that wait, everyone is playing edge here. Let's actually start playing center.
Okay, and looks like Snakers, Float will get revived as well, so LG back up to full strength. Sixel dropping right on top as well. This must have been the spot that everybody was looking for. Twisted Mind's going to open up on them in the, CC108 finding HSM from a distance. New Happy from the compound actually finds an angle, and that's going to save Shengyi Jinlong. They'll be able to keep all four up and immediately turn their attention over to 4 AM.
Everyone thinking they're 900 IQing this rotation, and in the end, they're just all living on top of one another. Batulin's peak silence over, finds MML. Will he get more of it? Nope, only a couple of bullets in return as Xiao Yixinlong is able to get one of their players back on their feet, or at least should be able. So let's see where phase 3 takes us. We are going, well, up towards the northeast, I think. We got unplayable terrain towards PMA. We got unplayable down where New Happy is set. This one could swing all the way up in the direction of Foot, but should center further south.
Oh, through the... Okay. The sandstorm, the knot comes through. Lorena revived here, but I mean, you can see this is just not a great situation for Sixel to be in here, and LG started to turn things up here. Mime going to get spotted out by HSM, but as you said, everybody had this kind of 4 or 5 hit idea of dropping right on the same spot, and unfortunately, everybody had that same idea, so now they're all on top of each other, and it's not getting any better, Toby, because now E36 moving in, QM moving in, Purple Mood just kind of hanging out on the edge of the zone as well. Is just everybody going for the exact same spot. It's all on the south side of this road.
These are some of all the teams that we expected to come in playing center heavy, and now they finally decide to do it. Issue is they're doing it at the same game at the same time, and it's causing a lot of chaos. Lorena able to find a double, and now Enterforce 36 loses 3 in an instant. Just K left alive. Solid hope here from Luminosity. That nade did make its way on in, but nothing more will come of it.
Oh, I hope we get to see the Lorena mortar, because that took out 2 of them. That was absolutely filthy. And E36, they just were late to they were super late to the party, and unfortunately for them, he will try to survive just a little bit longer. He's got a full compound, just off to the side there.
Can you run there though?
I mean, honestly, like, who's looking?
Yeah, I mean, right now, no one's on the hillside. You had PMA up on the kind of the Batulin's mountain, should we call it, as he was the first one kind of famed for sitting up there. But no one's in that position anymore, so might just be able to creep around. But then again, why in the world would XKE1, or just K, expect that compound to be free for the taking?
Oh, the Mad will go down to Mime as LG... They've taken a few knocks over here, but they've managed to get the revive every single time. Not out of the woods just yet, as they're starting to creep a little bit farther over towards the east, see if they can maybe better their situation a little bit. But as you see, I mean, Gen G, LF, Legacy off to the north, they all have angles onto this.
I mean, they're all looking great right now. The circle, again, should shift towards the east. We have unplayable terrain on the southern side. We have some towards the west. There might be a world where it kind of centers up right on top of question mark, but that would be a 1 in a million chance that we get that exact circle generated. So most likely, it's going to go somewhere towards the northeast, and that's going to be good for all those teams that did commit in, because it's only 4 AM that brought vehicles. Everyone else is playing on foot, no cover to work around. They would really want it there. Let's see, we do get the highlight or the replay. Shengyi Jinlong, Lorena able to get the mortar in the air. And
right on top of the Golden Mirage. Jeez. That's a little bit of a target, isn't it?
Yeah.
It was, okay, we see 17 still on this southeastern side. They've got places to be, but Twisted Minds is beautifully spread out right now in power grid, waiting for anybody to try to make an entrance. It doesn't look like 17 wants any of it, really. They're just going to continue to wrap down on the south side. 4 AM, meanwhile, still holding their little ridge, their own little spot that they have loved to be in. Now, you can see Legacy making their way over, PMA make their way over. They're going to spot out Key. That's going to be it for Enter Force 36.
Nate slumped on forward now, though, as they put it on forward. But here's Glorious, the 2-time Nations Cup player, able to take out both Vart and T-Bone. They had 2 knocks. They thought that was going to be easy peasy for them. But Glorious is there, puts a foot in the door, says no entry on my territory. And that's going to be 3 of them now back on their feet because of it.
Ntar, gua dari stream.
Again, making things dangerous here for Genius. as they're just going to opt to try to send it in and see if they can get away with it. Looks like they'll take a few shots, but they're not going to take any knocks. So they will at least get 2 inside this next zone for now. Let's see if Zest can make his way over here and join them here eventually.
Hopefully no one has mortars, is all I'm going to say to this position.
Well.
And well, we're seeing Beamy on the northern side with an arm in hand. We'll see if he can make use of that, as now the remaining 2 players of Foot Esports also forced to make a play on forward. PMA, they claimed the position of Offensive Force 36 just before, and now making the play up towards Luminosity.
Yeah, PMA going to wish they had those grenades back. They had Luminosity pretty much dead to rights if they could just land those inside the shack, and they bounced off harmlessly. So in the end, nothing comes of it. Is now Pentagram trying to see if they can push forward and take care of the rest of Foot. HC and Beamy, meanwhile, working the ridge lines beautifully here.
So difficult to make space here. They're not inside the circle yet either. They have to try and sweep on it. HC usually is the one to try and make these flank plays. But now Wicked out in the blue. It's going to be spotted with his back turned. Good thing for them is that Hikari is there to return the favor.
Yeah, HC almost gets away with it too. Hikari, though, with the good eyes, spots him out in the blue. Adder getting pulled away. The ambulance is on its way. Beamy will try to spray it down, but it's not going to end up making a difference. Adder will get finished off, though. He won't be able to get revived, as Hikari now spotting out Twisted. And they are just holding the line here. They are just waiting for the inevitable breach.
Twisted Minds, they're playing a 3-1 split, very far north, but new to keep one in power grid. They know the value of this position, but this circle, hard swing west. We got the high ground in play down towards where Lorena is from Xiaoyi Xinlong. This is going to be a very interesting end-game area.
It certainly is. We've got a lot going off on the north side. Almost a majority of our teams already in this circle. As you said, PO and the rest of Gen G, they've got a long way to go. As they've got DG98 kind of covering things from the north side of the street. Pentagram already hopping in vehicles, but they're going to hit right into Sixel. Sixel ready and waiting for it. They'll find 1, they'll find 2, and that's Pentagram eliminated.
Nice plays by Zeus coming out there again. The Enigma player with little to no info to be found.
Udah habis saya kodenya.
Trying to get his shield back at his feet, but not going to happen. Last picks on over, able to take down.
Berarti. Paling kayak 100 ini doang.
You see they had their little mortar station all set up and ready to go. Gonna lay a few smokes down. I think that's just to secure his own escape. Snaker's gonna pick up a P90 from that crate. LG does lose Mime in the process. They still have 3 strong, however, and they are just trying to gatekeep whatever they can on this north side. See if they can maybe stop Gen G from coming in. Gen G very split, despite the fact that they have 4 up.
I mean, that's the Gen G way. Take control of as much terrain as you possibly can, even if it's not inside the next circle. Just spread out. And, well, the wider position we maintain control of, the bigger the chance that one of our players spots an entry to the next circle. And that's kind of been the Gen G perils on a necklace sort of splitting that we've seen time and time again. The further apart, the better off they are.
Well, hopefully one of them's been able to see something, because there is just not a whole lot of entryway to be found here on this north side. PMA very widespread. Now Twisted starting to leave their compound in power by the power grid. They've got Laza right behind him, the snake in the grass. They need to be very, very careful here. As Lou getting close, they spot him.
Perfect timing at that too. Very fortunate Lou is able to turn around just before the shots come through.
Buset, aku balik udah ada mati aja.
He's able to get the peek on in, able to take him out and stay alive. 3 in a car. I don't like this.
3 in 1 car. DG98 in the coupe. Where is he trying to send it to? Snakers take a few shots in him. PMA will as well.
Here?
And they've got a little bit of a ridge line to work with, as Esther's going to go down. Smoke's going to lay down as well. See if they can maybe hold PMA off for the time being. If they can get a knock onto that, that would be even better. But now the grenades are coming in from the north side. That's going to be 4 a.m. And LG. Snakers will find the flush onto Esther, as it is just not great stuff here for Gen G. Sungyoung will find 1, but Snakers lights up the entire squad. Gets a full wipe onto PMA, and now Gen G trying to turn their attention over to LG.
Yep, Snaker's living up to his name, trying to fight them from behind, those successfully that too, but PO instantly there to respond. All of Luminosity eliminated just short of placement points. Now Circle shifted down towards New Happy on the southern side. I said we were due for a Chinese win. New Happy sat dead center, 17 gaming out east. This looks very Chinese to me.
Yeah, New
Mau udah kelar ini LG. LG sih gue mikirnya yang bisa menang aja.
They're not having to get involved in any of this craziness on the north side. Twisted trying to see if they can just pick off any points over this before eventually making their way in. 4 a.m. looking
play agak safe sih mereka.
and Legacy.
Masih 4 ya, soalnya.
It's going to have to be quick though because they have the blue creeping right on their backs and the LFP.
Anjing Panzer Faust.
He'll find one. He'll find two. There's one found.
God damn.
The solid shots coming through. Great push up there. Only needed one. There was one there to cover, but RBN wasn't needed in the end of it. Solid plays coming through, but their journey to the next circle is far.
Alamak keklik. Kena orang.
Poison, do you take the Twisted Minds or question mark? You know that the team that you don't fight, it's going to third.
Neng.
QM coming over here to see if they
Ya,
can
mati.
Anjir, satu.
knock and the flush on his grenade over towards 4 a.m. Question mark. Just looking to see what they can find off of Legacy. Twisted Minds doing the same thing, and they're actually being a little bit pushed around here by 17. Few shots coming from them will force them to back down a little bit. Now Legacy will be able to get back into their vehicles, get back on the move,
lagi back down
find their way into the zone.
Creeping on up, trying to again get a gist of what's happening in front of the man. Really played this far south yet, but here comes the ball. Twisted Minds.
God damn!
Legacy able to stay alive.
Hello, Legacy, what the hell?
But he should be able to get
Holy shit, they popping off.
Potentially, RBN will get up too.
9 HP. 9 HP is all that was separating Gizera from losing that fight, and he clutches it out. Huge for Legacy. And he should actually be, it looks like he's going to be able to get both roses back. So Legacy 3 strong, 17. Big wide split. Question mark are going to have to try to send it in. They're backfilling at 4 a.m. And they're going to find 4 a.m. as well. They are now down as New Happy still hangs out inside their hard cover.
Everything that's happening here is being overlooked by Purple Mood. Solid 2-2 split they've currently got going. That's why you're hearing the crowd going wild in the audience. They are loving the fact that Thunders and Fluggy are set up on the hillside high and just finding flush after flush as best as they can.
Only one kill for Purple Mood so far, at least one secured. But you know that they have been farming damage. They've been sending shots down here. We'll see if this circle gives them any luck whatsoever. They're still going to have to play around New Happy, unfortunately. New Happy does get the res. They had a knock inside
yang
their
pelurunya 556 kok,
full strength.
Apa berapa gitu beda sendiri.
Dia 57 pelurunya.
Oh, 57. Gue lupa yang ungu pokoknya.
Yang ungu tuh 57.
For New Happy.
Gue lupa.
You know what? I used to be the coach here, the frag. I'll give you my P90. I'd take you all. It's fair trade.
I would give it to Gizera, honestly.
Gizera's on one right now.
Only because LFP has gone down. Because LFP has been actually on one recently, and that guy has been.
Sila kenapa ini dari tadi poinnya nggak naik banyak.
Buka minum. Enggak lagi ini. Lagi ngobrol. Diam dulu.
Asla udah enak itu dia udah tahu dia dua game back to back championnya udah cukup itu poinnya.
Iya. Udah nggak terlalu try hard ya, udah capek.
Make a little more space, but now
udahlah kasih aja. Poin segini aman lah. Masih top 10 yang jelas.
I like this play. No reason to spread out wide. You know you have a team in the compound. You know you have 17 out east. Play up close. I would be surprised if they
nggak ada hadiah lagi kan. Itu kayak grup B menang dia satu nggak ada.
Inside the circle. For now, that is mission accomplished.
Yeah, no shot that Purple Moon tries to push into this New Happy compound. They would like somebody else to try to do that so that they can be in a. They're right there to push in just in case that fight does eventually happen. Look at 17 though. They've left Lil Ghost on the south side. Meanwhile, they're wrapping around on the north to try to clean up what's left of Legacy.
Able to find one. Now the cavalry's being called in. You can see
he found the P90. That's a huge one.
The important one too, exactly. Smokes are being deployed. Those of the rest should be possible. As I say that though, the circles are closing in, and now Nate's been low.
Ay, LGC no.
Set down to
Ada api.
Aduh, Bluezone.
Set falls to it as well as this.
Alamak, Bluezone. Alamak, Bluezone lah.
For now, it should be down. Yep, there you go.
Question mark.
LG Sidon.
Pick up a couple there.
Belum
For them, three
ya
kills
udah.
for them so far.
LG
Three up. Best of luck, Phil first in a doozy. You know, they have a lot of real estate to work around on this north side. If they could pick up a few more, maybe even 1 or 2 off of 17 here, that could be huge.
I'm liking the fact that we're seeing this 3-1 split from 17 gaming.
Bro actually bernafas aja.
Always Xiaowu that would hold that off angle, that would be the anchor player and let the other 3 push on forward, but they're opting to change things.
Orang 120 kan dia 80 aja.
The container on the southern side, he is the one to not allow for Purple Mood to wrap around to the east.
The most chill player.
He peeked on over, took a few shots.
Cold-blooded killer literally.
In the other direction, because right now I think for 17 gaming they're more concerned with
apaan sih?
towards the north and mid.
Oh ini musuh ya. Oh ini musuh tembak itu yang lain pada 150, 130, dia sendiri 80
Kapan ya hidup aku bisa terus tenang itu?
150 itu pura-pura fokus.
Makes absolutely perfect sense. 17, they commit to the northern side this time around. Don't want to push in.
Dapat di 1M tenang sih, Red.
A somewhat wounded question mark on the other side, but one player down does not take them out of the equation at all. But this push up the side ain't far, but it's going to be very much out in the open.
That is about as equal
Orang-orang ini udah kontrol rumah
as
aja.
you're going to get for the win there. A little bit of extra percentage going New Happy's way because of the compound, and a little bit less for QM because they're missing one. But other than that, it's all even, baby. We see what we can find here as 17 does bring Lil Ghost back up. They'll just play from the north here. New Happy still just holding on inside the compound, just waiting for an opportunity to take advantage.
Persentasenya dari mana ya?
Dari ini langsung dari sistemnya langsung. Dihitung dari dihitung dari HP, dihitung dari lootnya apa aja. Dihitung dari zona juga. Di mana dia zona? Tempatnya itu loh, yang mereka singgahin. Gitu-gitu.
Itu langsung bagus ya. Make sure didn't take that knock, because that might have been the beginning of the end for 17.
For sure.
As QM is just trying anything they can to try to get at least one knock to open things up here. But nothing doing so far. The final dot gonna land right outside of New Happy's compound.
17 is taking their time here. They want to get
the
behind, and it comes through. Question mark taken down. They have everything they needed. They just need a brief moment. Wait, what's happening behind us? They turn around and they instantly find 2 with their backs turned. Great play from 17 Gaming.
Yeah, they actually forced it feels like they forced QM back into Purple Moon's territory as well.
Angka magic.
To some shots from behind, and now Fluky and Thunder's already down. Tanawat down very, very low, but New Happy taking a lot of L's here as well. At 17 now, Suju will get knocked, but Xiao Bei will find another one. New Happy will finish off Purple Moon, but they have been beaten down. It is only December 12th.
Hold on.
Oh, 5 HP, what the hell, 1 HP bro.
Wah, New Happy tuh keren aja main itu.
On their feet, this should be easy peasy clean up duty for December 12th. Get those points guaranteed, of course. That's what you want to go for now. This one is going to be a Chinese win guaranteed. Xiaowu not spotted on the rooftops.
Xiaowu immediately going for that up high spot.
One more.
And he's not picked out.
Last one.
Oh!
From
New Happy menang.
Please
New Happy menang.
Men, si Anhai seksi banget men. Kacau.
Back on the move, wants to make sure he flushes out that kill as well.
Ini kenapa main crackdown aja?
They are so damn important at this point of the tournament. At all points in this tournament, December 12th.
Oh, shotgun. Tahu dia.
Oh! Get a chance to use it.
Ayo.
I think it's a 1v1 totally for the win.
Sure is. 1 versus 1. 6 Bullet has to go for the reload.
Oh!
Finds him 3 HP.
Yo! Let's go! Oh my god.
108 able to win the win for New Happy. They had the compound, but they had to defend it. And here,
seksi banget men.
Oh my god,
God damn.
And you got
minum dulu nggak sih ya?
But you know what? It felt like New Happy was always in control of that game.
Yeah.
But 17, how on earth did they bring that down to a 1v1? That never should have happened.
I mean, it was pretty much as close as can be. And again, China showing that they are now warm. Chiamba was warm out of the gates yesterday. These teams
Anjir, itu pakai kompresan dong di palanya.
Kompresan.
They've had the warmth they needed now.
Puyeng. Mama.
Pening pala gue.
Mama. In the form of New Happy. So let's throw it over the desk to hear what they have to say about things.
New winner, New Happy gets the chicken dinner, and it came down to a 1v1, a nail biter at the bitter end. Martin, I mean, that was fun. We got to have a little bit of a fight. We got to have a lot of open season fight. Tons of strategy at the end of that game.
And I love the emergency pickups as well. Some early, some later, and then you have to kind of have these kind of scrappy fights. So there's somewhat of a home turf circle for Twisted Minds. Then it went into West, and then they had to do scrappy fights as well. But yeah, super well played by the New Happy. 17 Gaming Purple. I gotta say, overall, all of them kind of had that opening chance, but instead of hurting them towards each other and kind of peacocking a little bit,
itu jelek aja.
Just a full three-way fight. They took
Wah, itu jelek banget. Anjir coba gua gila bumi.
Dia drive by tapi mati gitu. Dia jalan-jalan dari mobil.
Nabrak pula mobilnya.
Gak ada dosa sih. Di beam lagi dia.
Luminosity mess that was going on, and you get to hear comes down to a 1v1, and I'm going to be completely honest.
Agak gila nih anjing.
That New Happy had given 17 the chance to make it a 1v1 in the first place. That's the kind of thing that could really set a team back if they had managed to win it, but that reload, the push, it worked out.
Dan tadi tuh boomnya tuh seksi-seksi banget, men.
Congratulations to New Happy. My name's Toppies. I'm joined by Avenger here on the desk.
Gue demen banget aja warna biru.
One more game left to play, but the 5 that we've done so far have been absolutely wild.
Yeah, wild again. After what we saw yesterday, I was questioning, can this happen again? Had some good circles, some home turf goals. Here with Pentagram,
they let off the gas.
They get let off the gas. I'm a little bit happy for that, but then again, they also had 2 somewhat home turf circles.
True.
They are looting in the God carrier, right? And we had a somewhat of chopsticks ending, but an error risk. So it is close to where they're looting. So you can expect good games for them. They got the most out of it, but let the foot out of gas a little bit, and that kind of opens up a little bit in terms of our top 8.
They might be a bit of an Orangle specialist, perhaps. Whereas yesterday,
if the circles are with them.
Right. Well, yesterday Tiamba just seemed to be specialized in everything that they did. So a little bit of a shift here today. I will say, I want to give a shout out again. Purple Moon Gaming, for the second time, has put themselves into this mix. They got to that end game. I thought there was a chance there for a moment when they were going to sort of push up against 17 after their fight. I think it was with Foot that it might work out, but it didn't quite happen for them. Let's take a look at the top 4 teams, however. Sorry, it was Legacy. New Happy, 11 kills, going to be feeling very good about that. 17, that 14,000 damage, or 1,400 damage tells you just how much hustle they had to put in. A lot of utility used there. On the other hand, Purple Moon, 900 damage, 2 kills, and just a ton of smokes thrown down.
Yeah, CC 108, 6 kills coming in his way, and a clutch in the end there. That's a huge pat on the back for him. Definitely the man of the match for him. There's no doubt about it. But yeah, good to see overall here. They're able to hold strong, and once you have these kind of shanties in the top, they are somewhat hard to defend. They managed to defend it, managed to get out well here, and of course, as you said, CC with the 6 kills and the man of the match, 600 damage.
Yeah,
very nice.
You know, defense doesn't always mean sort of like putting the gates up and pouring the hot oil. Sometimes it means just making sure that everyone else fights themselves, and that's exactly what they did. They held ground, they forced 17, Legacy, PLM, QM to fight each other, and that's what sort of opened the door for them to come out with this win. There's the match leaderboard, 21
points. Kalau turnamen ini granatnya banyak banget aja.
Another good score with 9.
Turnamen biasa granatnya gak ada.
They're up there. They're just going to be grinding out those average points per game to try to make it to the top
Banyak
8.
men granat di itu.
Enggak, maksudnya enggak cukup tasnya Ju.
Iya, berarti mereka itu men ngehemat peluru banget men.
Tapi peluru banyak loh, 200. Gue masih nggak tahu backpack manajemennya PUBG kurang ini.
Kills and a win. You're still able to kind of within that striking distance into the top 8. It is getting closer though. We have our mid-20s, our mid-pack is close, And with one good game from them, they can still jump in.
Kalau PUBG itu bawa 100-an,
Ini yang save yang 1 sampai 8 ya?
Everyone went home and it was still one good game gets you top 4 or 5 even. Here there's a little more of a spread. There are teams where I think now if you are Howl or you're one of those teams on the bottom, you're thinking to yourself, I need to have a good last game. I need to set myself up so when I come to the 6 in 2 days,
Ya ini save-nya 1 sampai 8 kan?
Ini
1 sampai 8.
You want to be next to that 8 cutoff going into the final day of play.
A little bit of a cutoff, of course, between Twisted Minds and GG Sports. The 8 points there, but if Twisted Minds 22, this was a home turf circle. This was the kind of game for them that we wanted to see the double digit, maybe even a win for it. But yeah, they didn't make it, and we have one more game to go.
We do have one more game. We saw some amazing plays in there. We saw the Panzerfaust by LFP. That was one of the best things I've ever seen. He pushed with the Panzerfaust onto Genji, got the kill, and then just picked up a mini and went right back to battle. Legacy seems to be playing on all cylinders. I look forward to seeing what they can pull off on this one. Also, QM, the blue zone.
Terus pakai Panzerfaust, kesel banget gak lu?
Miramar. It's time for Miramar.
Kesel banget oh tiba-tiba ada roket anjir.
Thank you very much, Toppies, and yes, we are ready for the final game of the day, Toby. Our last journey into Miramar for this first day of Group B play. And it is, as the desk has said, it's been a lot of teams all showing up. It's not one team just kind of sharking all the points like it is in Group A. It's making things a little bit more interesting here for the cut line.
Sure is. Pentagram still sat in a good position up top, but will that remain to be after this game is over? I'm not quite sure, especially not with how well some of these teams are starting to get that hunt going. Put out early, of course, as we know that they would be up towards Impala. They'll probably fly, allow for Xiaoyi Shenlong to take Porto Paraíso. And again, I mean, a group where, yes, there's been some early commotion, but not really any proper hot drops. And you know what? I like it, because hot drops are...
Dan itu yang di ujung-ujung.
That's the word I was gonna use.
Jauh juga cuy, anjir dari pesawatnya, men.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Look, as an American,
we call a spade a spade.
Well, no, I'm just saying, as a fan of you know, North American PUBG, I hate hot drops. I've seen our good North American teams get caught up in hot drop situations way too many times now to ever want to see that happen again. So. Anything we can do to avoid them, I'm happy about. Say, Genius and Twisted Minds getting a little close to each other, but yeah, it's about as close as they're going to get is in the air. And our circle is going hard down to the south.
Imagine the first Patona ending of...
You want it?
PGC.
Let's get it.
You know, I mean, or do we save it for grand finals, or do we get it here and in grand finals? You know what? Regardless, I think it'd be fun.
Let's get it here.
Yeah, why not?
Why wait?
Why not?
Get it out of our system a little bit.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yep.
Dragon, no.
In the meantime, as teams get eluded on up, this gives us more of a chance to break down some of these teams. And I feel like, you know what, I'm going to let you. Is there any team, before we hop over to a highlight with Legacy, that you want to break down, that you can then break down after the Team Legacy highlight?
Who do I want to break down?
Yeah. I'm giving you free reign.
I don't know, man. Why you gotta do this to me right now?
If there's anyone you wanted to talk about.
Oh, look, hey, I'll tell you what. I'll talk about Legacy because
that's a good idea.
You know, we got highlights from them coming up, but look, that is a team that you look at them and you see 3/4, I think, if not 4/4 of well, it's 3/4 of PNC Team Brazil, and we've seen how exciting that team can be when they get a snowball rolling.
Oh yeah.
And obviously getting that win here today, that's the first step in a journey that's very, very long, right? But if we get to the point where we're in grand finals and Legacy makes it and they come in on the first day and they find themselves with just a big victory, that's the kind of team that just feasts off of that confidence. I know we like I feel like we overuse the term confidence.
No, but it's massive. There's a reason we overuse it.
Because if there's one thing that we can all be certain of is that PUBG is a psychological game almost as much as it's a mechanical game, right? You have to have your head in the right place to find success. And if there's one thing that about Legacy and the guys on that team, man, they are so good at putting themselves in a good headspace. You never see those guys tilted. You never see them mad. You never see them yelling at each other. They are always having the best damn time of their lives. And it's even easier to have a great time when you're mechanically cracked and you have a little bit of a snowball going for yourself, and you can build off of that.
Which leads back to what we said about them earlier in this tournament, or earlier today, I should say, that we wanted to see them go more aggressive. We wanted to see them play with that confidence, and funnily enough, as soon as they do, hey, they get themselves a win on Tego. You know what I mean? Just keep it going. We're all smiles. I'll gladly wave the Brazilian banner if that means that we'll see these boys out there fragging.
Here's another team that, you know, it's been a slow start.
Ngeliat turnamen gini tuh pingin main lagi.
I don't mind this start being slow for
fine with their start. It's just from previous tournaments, their group stage has been when they put on the most fireworks.
Yeah.
Right? And that's, obviously it's not a concern to me at all. Like right now it's top 8, right? That's all you need to do. And plus it's only been one day. But it's a little bit slower of a start than I've gotten used to seeing from Legacy, or from Luminosity. So maybe I'm just a little bit disappointed.
Okay, I see that. I can see how you had hope for. I mean, with the pedigree of the roster, that also, as you said, knowing how well they have played into group stages before, that they would wanna.
And they were so damn good in PAS2 too.
Yeah, yeah.
Like they were fragging out. And again, it's not like they're doing anything wrong. It's just we're just not seeing the exciting, you know, the stuff that we kind of got used to seeing.
And that's what you just said there, I think, is the kind of hitting the nail on the head, is that they're not really doing anything wrong. Right now, they're up against fierce competition. Not saying they ain't part of that competition themselves, because they are
5 games.
definitely up there. But we're not seeing them make massive mistakes that, oh no, why would you ever do something like that? We're seeing Luminosity that just has yet to have those. And again, a game of PUBG, it's all about skills, no doubt, but sometimes you just need that little sprinkle of things going your way that is out of your hands to get things going. It doesn't have to be catching 9 circles. It can be, oh wait, these 2 teams just started fighting right in front of us when we were in a perfect position to engage. Kena for anything more. That one thing alone can be your 15 kill win.
Itu damage-nya kencang banget nih di Storm.
LG might not have had that yet. Having seen what they have done, that hasn't been with that given, I have all kinds of confidence in Luminosity being able to go out and whenever they get that opportunity, instantly take it.
100%, man. It's sometimes the game just lays itself out in front of you, and we'll see what they can do, if anything will lay itself out in front of them right now. But we promised you some Legacy highlights, so we're gonna get them now.
Players, nice outside defense, and oh my! Promise, here's one right for you, Poro.
There it is. Zero find, a quick knock on a Finna. Cowboy.
Just kind of off to the east, in the center of the circle, in a nice position. What a spray from VHC.
Aliens still have a couple members to work with, but stepping on top of that.
Yeah, I got to hear myself again.
You talked about Guerilla. You said that he had it in him, and well,
cracked,
we saw
man.
It right there.
The kid's absolutely cracked. And to be honest, when he first came onto the scene, his first event after he hit 18, he just lit the entire lobby on fire. And then we've been kind of chasing that high ever since, really, because he's done really, really well in other tournaments, and he's consistently a fantastic player, but he's never really reached the high of that intro, and that's not his fault. That's more on us for expecting that. But man, that first tournament for him was just absolutely bananas.
Now, for those of you viewers out there who are watching this tournament don't have the map feed open, I say nay. Get the map feed open as well. Do exclamation mark map and you will see where it is. As Spiro takes out Pio, because Pio does Pio things. It was a little, I don't want to say isolated, because he did actually have TG98 with him, but they ran into a Twisted Minds trap in Yumeria. And get the map open, because there's a crate on Patona, and who knows, maybe that crate is going to predict these circles. That's all I wanted to say.
Bringing it back.
Then Spiro interrupted me with shooting opponents.
We're bringing it back to crates predicting where the next circle's going to go.
I'm just saying. Takes Pio again.
I believe it. I'm a believer. Yep, but Tulin gets the re-knock, and yet this is just constantly cycling the knock on poor PO. And now Songyong going to try to come down the hill.
Oh, what?
Gets a nice spray on him.
Counter-Strike grenade ini.
That Songyong crash.
Ini ngapain?
having lineup.
Just holding angles, and yep, this is just Twisted Minds waiting for the perfect opportunity.
Again, I mean, very, very cautious. I even caught myself there saying push, but then again, they have a guy on the hillside still. They don't have all the info. They need to make a play where they don't lose players. Oh, Batulins almost had a perfect off angle there, but didn't quite get it. He will be taken down. Second time he gets knocked, so no one on the roof there to res him. That will be the first blood of the game going his way.
Over to Batu. Love to see it. Well, let's see if GG can figure out a way to get themselves out of this one. This is kind of a mess here. They aren't exactly in great position. DG98 might be the one
Apa nih? Ini main apa nih? Burning hole nih, burning hole.
From the side with
Burning hole nih, burning hole.
Flanker. Is that Esther running away? That might be Esther just running away for security purposes at this point.
Oh, last field.
Trying to get into. I mean, he was kind of down in that valley. He had his vehicle there, and I think there's a fear of being shot in the back, which makes perfect sense because we still have the likes of Question Mark and Genius out there making their way on in. And again, I mean,
if he's repositioned to the other side of Chumacera.
These are the two worst teams to have in a situation like this because neither of them are in a hurry to get to the circle. So, like, we'll stall here for a while. Circle even goes over towards him. So they are in no way a hurry. Now the question becomes, with the circle having just shifted over here, who wants it more? Who wants the space? Who wants to be able to utilize it for future gains? Well, Luminosity up here, they're hearing the shots, and they want a piece of the pie.
Batu needs to watch his back here because Snakers certainly is.
Lari ada Sandstorm.
Lari ada Sandstorm. Through that door or peek that window. The satisfaction right now, so
DPS.
able to hold
DPS-nya.
for the time being. He will.
Balas. Aku balas.
Good footwork on the part of DG.
I feel like they hear that and they just back off. They heard the DPS.
Okay, DB.
Nope, I'm leaving. Lou and Spiro instantly run out of the building. I love it. I love it.
That is the smart call.
Like we're not getting any of this. Not at all. Oh, I love it.
Coba lu perang kayak gini di Apex.
Nggak bisa,
ada 5 spot lagi ya.
Iya, udah pada ngumpul aja.
Dua dari jauh tuh aja cuma sniper.
This might just be it. And now Genji's from a finally the flank has come around.
There you go, Batu gonna get Esther knocked and flushed. Spiro down inside the smoke. The blue zone grenade will get him low, but it's not gonna be enough to finish him off. As DG still holding the line with that big bad shotty in hand. Spiro looks like the res will come out. Batu doing a good job of kind of protecting his man here. As now you can see on the mini map the emergency parachute drop from New Happy coming in. They're laying right on top of LG, but we'll see what 17 decides to do about this fight now that they heard all these shots going off.
With Esther falling as well, they got the kill early on PO2 there in a 4v2. While you don't want to push the building, now is where you surround. Now is where you get into position from where we know exactly which room they're in, not just what part of the like what floor on the building. That we know exactly where we have him, and that's when you use 1 or 2 nades, maybe a Molly, a blue zone nade, whatever, to take him out. You don't want to push that DPS up close. Just clear him out with utility. That is, if you have any to use.
Yep. Meanwhile, Gen G just waiting for Twisted Minds to make a mistake.
Ganteng banget, men.
At the worst possible time.
Timur di Bennett ya?
Spiro will finish him off, and now it's down to just Songyong as he is outside.
Jadi spawn kan?
We'll see how long it takes Twisted Minds to pin him down.
Disable.
I don't think they have any idea where he might have been.
And this is just picture perfect engaging. I mean, as soon as they hear the DPS, they back off.
Kalau ada C4 mah anjir, itu satu orang plan, sisanya jagain luar rumahnya.
Very, very wise PUBG right now, not taking any risks at all. As I say that, able to get the double despite Lou going for the drop shot, but Patulins.
Bro main COD langsung tegurap aja.
Tapi bisa, Cuk. Emang gitu cara mainnya, Cuk.
He was one shot
Drop shot
away,
tadi.
and he's gonna get rezzed. Oh my goodness, Perfectix in the
Itu
perfect
gila, itu
spot
badan dari
at the
atas
perfect
sampai bawah
time.
digeramang men sama peluru men.
This takes a few more
Yeah,
shots
yeah.
over there in aggravation that he couldn't get that flush. But good stuff from Twisted Minds, although, man, Songyang had him sweating there for a little bit there at the end.
Tidak
When they
kuat.
fall, Songyang will put up a fight, but that's going to be
Tolong
JP as the
aku.
first team here in this one. No one else taking casualties thus far as we hit the 14-minute mark in just a second's time. Howl trying to wrap around again. Hard southern shift on this one, all the way down to the southern coast. We didn't go quite down to Partona, but close enough for my liking. We'll see now if Xiao Yixin Long can make use of the high ground control that they have claimed.
Question mark. Making their way down that coastal road. It's a lot of actually 4 AM and PMA trying to make their way out of Idamar.
Yeah.
They may get a little bit close to each other. Xiao Bei gonna get spotted out by VHZ. It's up from Legacy. Good eyes. 17 try to send it. They end up losing one in the process here. Is now 17 getting very, very close to Pentagram's compound. But it looks like they're gonna just breeze through.
Again, I mean, they're
Ketahuan
hearing all this
jomoknya.
commotion up north. They're hearing the shots potentially.
Aduh,
Maybe not 17, but many teams
Ketahuan
aware that
jomoknya.
everyone is taking their time waiting for the perfect
Ketahuan
opportunity.
punya mak.
Well, you know what? Going in early might just be that perfect
Langsung kena-
opportunity. 17
langsung
gaming
kena
might not
sapu
have the best
halaman.
position, might not have gotten in with all 4 alive, but them 3 set dead center right now, that could just be placement points guaranteed.
A lot of
Menyapu
real estate
halaman.
still kind of available here. I don't know how great it is, but you can see that so many of these teams just clustered up, trying to stay together. Looks like 17 took another knock, but that should be rezzed here shortly. Howl, meanwhile, where's Howl? They are, okay, there we go. Got them a little bit confused. So many gray teams on the map right now. Foot doing a little bit of
What the hell?
for them.
No way.
Mega stuck behind that vehicle. And I think AJ realized that he saw the car. To get his view. He just ran past him too. I'm not sure if he's actually aware of exactly
No
where he's
way.
finds Teddy. That is
No
going to be him.
fucking way.
Well, I think AJ might have missed Pete. I mean, he is pretty much inside a vehicle that's vertical, so it makes sense that he wouldn't be
Oh!
player there, kid. For all this actually gonna be
Wah,
the
di sampahnya kirain beneran di spray cu. Fuck.
Crazy.
Anjing. Itu keren banget kalau beneran di spray cu harus gitu cu.
First, making that a little bit less, more anticlimactic than I thought it was there at first. That was a hell of a spray, but Phil First doing some work over here on the PMA. Last one alive there.
Aku dihujani peluru.
Is Tian. He spot out
Tolong
the
aku.
toesies underneath.
One shot.
That'll do it. Good shooting.
There you go. Solid shot coming through. As first one
Hampir.
full circle's gonna pop
Tadi
up,
dia kalau nggak mati
Yeah,
tuh hampir
masih
mati.
hidup cu.
Oh my gosh.
Finding the in-game leader for 4 AM when they needed things going
Ayam
their way.
pete,
It wasn't
namanya pete,
meant
cu.
to be. As one does get taken down, and the IGL at that too.
He is Pete. And don't
He
you
is.
forget it.
Can't deny it.
At 4 AM now. Trying to track
You.
him down. Take care of him.
Wow.
Man, right down on top of him will be crazy. And that'll be PMA eliminated in 15th place. A little bit of a slow start for them, or tournament here. But plenty of time to turn things around.
And now our eyes have to go north. Luminosity, New Heavy, Twisted Minds, and Genius are all trying to get out of what has been a complete traffic jams of teams up on that hillside. Luminosity is going to be the first ones to try and make a move, but they're going straight in between both Enterforce and Pentagram. Now, nice movement for them. Issue is Snakers will fall again. I mean, even if you make it here with 3, you have to kind of count your blessings and go, you know what? Kind of worth. We at least
Touring
know
eh.
of what
Wah, kena aja.
Tenang cu.
everyone's fantasy teams in shambles.
Yep, well, I don't care about everyone's. I care
Oh.
about mine's in shambles. But the Mad
Ya ditinggal. Ditinggal touring sama teman-temannya tuh.
Foot Esports, as they will be our 3rd team going down. Not a bad
Nah.
damn day for Foot to start things off here. 39 points, 5th place overall, and a nice win.
And really impressive, actually, by how, when you think of how they were the ones on the outside fighting into Foot Esports, I didn't see exactly how it went down with Xiao Yixin Long probably playing a bit of a part in that fight, but impressive that it's Howl that come out on top, considering how much of an advantage Foot initially had in that fight against them.
Well, yeah, I mean, by all appearances, yeah, it looked like Foot had all the good angles on him. It looked like Howl had to fight their way through the Foot blockade. But not only do they do so with keeping 4 alive. So very well played by them. We'll see what they do from the southeastern side of the circle. They've got Purple Moon off to the north. CC108 just has them all dead to rights. Spiro going to try to do a little bit of damage in the back, but December 12th will be right there. And just like that, Twisted Minds is sent back to the lobby.
Ditimpukin, men. Kepalanya. Ya di party ya, di belakang. Wah, aku pergi, aku tembak dari belakang.
Hurts like hell. Hopefully there's either a jammer pack or something to work with. If not, then
gue kayaknya ngerti banget bahasa. Anjing dari
got places to be. Well, they've got Purple Mood on the screen right now.
Hashtag one kill sama hashtag one damage tuh.
Ayo, meninggal. Ayo, spray. Mati. Weh.
Dia juga mati zona sih.
Enggak.
Enggak,
zona nggak sakit. Belum sakit.
Belum, ini masih PS4.
Howl to pull back away, so
baru
might get
5 tuh baru 5 ke atas tuh udah perih.
5 ke atas udah dipaksa main.
Everyone trying to make their way further towards what is this new circle up towards the north, but here comes Xiao Yixin Long pushing from behind. Many teams now on these edges in chaotic fights up close. Howl
udah ngeflank kalah lagi.
trying to respond to the push.
Udah ngeflank kalah lagi.
Now Purple Mood 2 is gonna start creeping their way ever so much closer.
Apa lah ini tak kena granatnya.
Thunder's doing so much work here as a solo for this team.
Wah, NH Isalina.
Moto like skill.
Berarti ya si Azlan nih, wah poinnya gede men. Si Azlan kena granat.
Makanya udah bilang Azlan tuh udah
orang bang. Itu orang bang.
Udah kelihatan bro, smoke soalnya.
Gak kelihatan bang.
Smoke tebel.
Tadi nongol aja.
Enggak, smoke tuh tebel. Tapi kalau misalkan di spektator itu nongol. Tuh. Tapi kalau in game tuh tebel banget.
Nonton Twitch bisa dapat 10.000 EP dari drop Twitch drop. Yang ini loh, yang kayak PGC point gitu.
Wah, tau gitu dari tadi aku login cu Steam-nya cu, apa ininya cu, apa Twitch-nya cu, lupa.
Twitch-nya.
Aku nggak login.
Saatnya login.
Telat, malas.
Atau nonton dari HP.
Bisa aja lah.
Buka dari HP, suaranya mati. Baru muncul sih, harusnya 2 jam dari sekarang.
Aduh,
goblok.
Aduh,
Rio kejedot men.
Itu matinya kayak orang kejedot aja.
Kayak kejedot tuh bagus cuy.
Langsung mati aja.
Alamak, kepleset tuh.
Baru keluar mobil aja dia langsung mati.
Beliau kejedot.
Kocak banget ini matinya.
Iya, kalau lihat animasinya tadi men. Duk.
Ngapain
sakit.
Gurih.
Kena kepala, helm hilang dulu.
Mama ditimpuk.
Gila, namanya Pure Boy, pasti orang-orang suci.
Orang-orang suci.
Sedang kami di Indonesia.
That's reason enough. We also don't have Xiao Bei at 17.
Men itu yang di atas santai banget rebahan men.
Let's go with 17.
Minum dulu nggak sih?
All right, well 17 in a great position, LG in a great position as well, but they've got a lot of work to do. E36 on the north side, 4 strong, Pentagram in a compound as well, but they're going to eventually.
Oh iya, gue lupa masih ada Pepsi dari KFC.
Real feisty as well. 4 kills for them.
Again, we're phase 5 to 27 alive.
Yeah.
Things got chaotic once we hit that phase 3 southern hardship.
Win.
And that's why there's now that much more space to maneuver. Teams were eliminated by the masses just moments ago, and now, well, send the circle to follow. A 17 now from the hill up high has to try and
prediknya dia tuh di Twitch
from getting too close.
All right, Purple Mood already sending Duckmans in a little bit low. Took a few shots over from Pentagram. I'm actually interested to see if Pentagram leaves this compound, and if they do decide to leave that compound, where they decide to send it to, because the longer
tapi LGC masih, kalau si Azla blunder parah masih naik men. LGC 17.
Question mark here. Shots
Mereka
come
cuma beda
through, they
10.
do some damage, but it's going to be 17 that gets the credit for it as
Tapi udah aman sih ya.
will go down. Phil first.
Ya, tinggal main safe doang si Azla main.
Question mark getting a lot of help from Mentaforce 36 right now, really just suppressing them up high.
Azla udah
trying to do more damage,
Udah
trying to
seperti
get the
itulah.
flush as well, but denied. Now the nade does do the damage for him. Issue is Phil first slops one in return.
Sudah cukup.
How much more
kena.
can get off it? I don't think they can really make an aggressive
Got
play on it.
Meletup anjing.
Titibok LPG men.
Aku udah meletup. Mama, aku dipletupin orang.
They're waiting for the inevitable.
Wah, itu kalau kena wah gila men. Itu gak kena gila men.
Very slow about it. They know they're down to 3. They don't want to take a risk of getting
batu aja 17.
Sixel. I mean, look at the terrain we're having to work with here, Toby. It is just brutal uphill stuff here.
Kalau ring sampai akhirnya masih di 17 enak kan.
That's why they're doing it and not us. They know how to handle these kind of tricky situations.
Lagi sih masih hidup nih. What the fuck ini? Oh, behind you. This dude.
As the solo player.
Anjir dia pakai granat launcher men.
Itu smoke anjir. Ini smoke.
Smoke granat launcher men. Smoke net. Ya dicicil ya.
Apparently
Aduh.
Enggak, dia nggak tahu kalau kena.
The smoke's still laid down. Gizera just trying to throw anything.
Oh, ini di kananmu bang. Kananmu. Mana gitu. Mampus.
Nah itu dia kananmu itu. Nah itu dia.
Pas banget 5-1 anjir itu. Coba 49, pasti kan SB.
Out of Japan, one of the big streamers of the region too. To get things going now, that vehicle not so much more.
Mati meletup.
What it had to, it got him those.
Mobilnya meletup. Oh enggak men.
Beliau pindah ke
apakah 17 membalap ya?
Itu ada ninja ya Allah.
Azla.
Dapetin. Nah.
Bro. Starlord di sini penting tapi yang di Guerilla PGC
come over here and see if they can get a flank position on Pentagram. I wonder if Pentagram had
Starlord.
any idea what they were doing because they are just
temennya datang dari samping.
super hard onto E36. They will get
Maaf, baru level 5.
Wah, Azla jelek posisinya men.
Tapi mereka udah juara 1 sih.
Lu aja dari jauh itu men gila display men. Gila.
He's chilling, itu mereka chilling aja.
Main udah aman.
Penting bisa balap
ini.
Dor. Kurang lompat deh.
Anjir, 1 make doang tuh anjir. Itu 1 make doang anjir. Spray terus habis ya.
Utility in the bag because it is not looking
ini 17 bau naik ini men.
36 should be able to res there man, get back up to 3 strong. Purple mood meanwhile.
Gue bawa 200-an biasanya karena pelurunya sama. Gue pakai AK sama par biasanya.
Holding on and just making sure that nobody over encroaches onto them.
Yeah. Starlord able to prone on down.
Aduh, Zaneri 17 lagi men.
That's of course not optimal. Maybe there's one waiting
for
one of the other crates. One could only hope. If not, then you'd have to imagine he falls pretty quickly as these guns do melt you. Don't worry about it.
Indeed they do.
Seronok lah.
Funny moment dikit.
Macam seronok nembak kawan nih kata saya. Ini sangat
sandwich
6 sampai 10 ini banget anjir. Ketat banget.
Gila, baik banget.
Anjing banyak banget.
Tak boleh lihat.
Shawu immediately back on the move here. So E36 may
Bang, itu di belakang bang. Lihat aku bang. Lihatin aku bang. Itu di belakang bang.
Committing a ton of utility, so that's push on forward. You can see what is it? 9 smokes deployed to just get a couple of meters.
9 smoke anjir itu. Banyak banget smoke-nya tuh.
Di satu tempat aja.
From everyone else left on the server.
Indeed it is.
Or is it though?
Iya di flank. Ya.
It's going to take 2 back-to-back knocks instantly. It's all down to key here. Shawu
Di KS. Dor.
Oke, wah ada kan juara 100.
Wah, Seventeen naik nih, Seventeen naik.
Gak jadi naiknya, didinai.
Cabut, lari. Running.
Gwencana.
Wah, si Seventeen ini nahan posisi doang men, tugasnya men.
Wow.
What the fuck?
Wih, enak banget. Itu bang, culik dikit bang. Culik bang, enak tuh bang. Udah dapet anjing.
Intip dikit.
Dapet anjing.
1 poin lagi cu.
Dapet anjir. Crazy.
Wah, udah.
Udah nothing men, nggak ada yang bisa lagi.
Banyak banget aja 11 kill.
Insane rolling anjing di sini cu.
Di PLM ngeh nggak anjir di 17 di bawahnya persis.
Harusnya nggak.
Cuman tuh nggak kan?
Cuma nggak bisa diapa-apain.
Nggak, maksudnya di pick gitu.
Nggak bisa diapa-apain. Dia
mau ngapain itu dan ya.
Nggak bisa di-pick men, nggak bisa di-pick. Itu di-pick.
Oh, 60 poin cu, udah menang 17 cu, gila.
Udah.
What the fuck?
Orang crazy ya.
Men, ini Seventeen bunuh diri juga menang men.
Ya, no wonder kenapa pickemnya PUBG Seventeen itu paling atas anjing.
Looks like they're going to pull back. They're going to wait for LG to make their move and then respond.
I was just going to say,
mereka udah top 3 men, udah. Kecuali PLM champion.
Jadi dia tinggal nunggu adu dombanya.
Gak bisa PLM masih kurang poinnya kalau mau ngejar ini, kalau mau ngejar si Seventeen. Mesti 48 dulu terus. Chicken dinner baru dia bisa 60 poin. Ya. Poinnya masih kurang itu. Harus 48 minimal.
Tapi masih ada possibility men.
Gak bisa.
Gak ada. Gak bisa, itu poinnya tinggal 3, tinggal 4 anjir. 45.
Gak bisa, 45 doang. 45 dapat 12.
Gak bisa. Kedua pun enggak. 3 paling.
3 bisa.
Men itu sampai 17.
Yang penting itu top 8 cu. Top 8 itu udah masuk winner bracket soalnya.
Ini sebenarnya udah winner bracket semua nih, 3 ini. Dor. Oh enggak smoke itu anjing.
Ini ya, ini sampai 17 masih selamat sampai wow.
Oh enggak, udah mati dia kena zona.
Enggak mau ngasih kill lah. Enggak mau ngasih biar PLM dapat poin lebih tinggi lagi.
Kena tuh flashnya sih perfect itu. Depan muka anjir.
And he's going to push right in to see if he can find somebody. Get them slipping. His damage will come in from the grenade. Force Purple Mood to pull off just a little bit. This Purple Mood keeps giving them a little bit more space. As you said, Thunder's still stuck off in the distance. And LG, they want to take this fight right
Aduh, flash anjir.
But he's not stuck. He's down there. He's set with the growth. So this is the nice headshot coming through from Dogmatch, but they need Thunders up here to help them. It doesn't matter that you hold the flank anymore. They have the hill under control. Get close, get in there so that you can trade for your teammates. Trying to isolate now. They have the Ducks on their side of the hill. It's LG who held it.
Memang instan.
Iya, instan. Hit pertama langsung instan.
Thunders doesn't have an angle. Fluky was going to find mine, though. That's going to be the original thing.
Pakai sorti,
Majang. Bro jadi mini Aegis.
Main Apex anjing.
PLM men, PLM menang ya? Ya,
PLM menang.
Bisa tapi ketiga berarti.
Ketiga atau kedua.
To finish off that day for Purple Mood, so close, so many times, and finally against the odds, having to fight their way up the hill, they come out victorious.
I don't think very many people were looking at
PLM tapi tulisannya merah.
Bagus cok ini ya cok, apa namanya? Gak tau kenapa production value-nya tuh bagus aja PUBG daripada Apex cok. Lihat deh tuh.
Anjir keren men.
Orangnya lebih bener. Stage-nya oke lah, sama lah sama Apex lah. Tapi production sisaannya
Purple Mood Gaming, the hometown heroes, put up when it matters most. You can hear the crowd in the background because they hustled, they fought, they took the high ground. and they came out with the chicken dinner, and I gotta tell you, all the Thai teams have looked amazing, Martin.
They have indeed. Super well executed by
Tadi tuh yang apa sih? Yang GM itu. Itu satu peluru lagi masuk dia selamat men. Gila.
Angle duty too there, super well executed by them. I gotta say though, Shawu DD in this game here, look, amazing 7 kills to go his way. A powerhouse of himself just here. Gisera as well, fantastic day for him, for Legacy. Legacy overperformed to what I had expectations to for day one for them.
100%.
They have the players to do so, but for them to start like that, that's really important for them to start on a high note.
It's good for their confidence. Young team coming out of here, a region that has honestly been disrespected, I think, for the last couple of years. This is a chance to really stamp their performance, and they did it big time. Now let's look at the end game here. He pulls out the double barrel to end it. Look how psyched they are. All
main shotgunnya keren men.
The fans cheered, parents in the crowd, and they got to do it in front of their hometown. They look good, and honestly, with PLM stepping up in this group, I feel like we're looking at a world where all of our Thai teams could be, if not the winners, bracket final, the grand final with how well they've played.
Yeah, that would be beautiful. I mean, the fans are going right. It's always good to have, you know, teams, and it's like, it's every time. It's just the small things. A shot that hits. He got hit by 22 damage. They go crazy in the crowd. And of course, they're able to celebrate them here. It's good to see. And especially on the end of the day, now they can go out and kind of get mingle a little bit with everyone out there, family, friends, and everyone.
They get to go out there and celebrate. And I do want to give a shout out because we saw that sort of double barrel at the end, but Flucky, to me, has also been just an absolute star for this team. He's been playing that anchor when he needed to. He's been pushing when he needs to, and he's been getting those kills. But PLM, I think, for me, is just, I've been impressed with their reaction. Remember, we can go back to that Tego game. I thought they were out of it, but they were making smart plays, working the edge, being able to push in after teams, backfill when they needed to. And somehow, even in that game, they end up with the high ground and are able to play off of it so well.
Exactly. And on top of that, like, it's so good to see Dogman Santana out here again, like a top level competition. Beautiful for them to come in with
ini kelar.
Also,
tempat gue hujan men, langsung
udah kelar ini. Tinggal tunggu ke depan habis tak kuat.
Iya ya.
Alright, let's take a look
at pas banget ini match kelar langsung hujan main di sini.
Mood Gaming in the front position, 10 kills, 1700 damage, and 20 smokes. They did at the top of the mountain. I kind of thought to myself, how'd they get that? That's your answer right there. 20 smokes, good use of strategy, and they were able to lock up that position. 17.
Tadi aja kan yang di terakhir kan 9 kan? Iya. 9 smoke di satu batu.
Sama ini juga sama pistol makanya. Oh, pantas smoke-nya banyak.
But still, the consistency for them to get 40+ points today has been fine.
Consistency is good, but consistently middling is not going to win you a championship.
Better than having, you know, 12 points after 6 games.
That's fair. That's fair. But I think
di grup A Tianba yang juara 1.
These guys, however, very happy. Let's take a look at the winner chicken dinner team stats. Looking over there on the left, 529 damage. I mean, across the board, the entire team putting in work as they need to, watching each other's back. The way that they sort of force Xiaowu to play against, almost as a 5th member of their team to try to lock out Luminosity. These guys have their heads around it.
Yeah, and it's Flucky, of course, for the man of the match. I gotta say, he's been impressive today. Yeah. And if they can keep this up going into it, it's easy winners bracket. And the question is just really, are they going to be able to clutch another top 8 once they get to the winners bracket and go straight to the final from that? That's going to be interesting to see here.
It will be interesting to see. Let's take a look at the summaries at the end of our first day.
Total kill 38, 17 men.
Top here for total damage. That's quite impressive. A little bit of surprise. 17, of course, total kills they've been able to frag out. Pentagram as well, 38 tied for that, but 17 was just a little bit more placement points throughout the day.
Yeah, we saw that with the Sixel thing. We saw that yesterday too. I think it was Exalt, where they were not where they would want to be on leaderboard. They were still a top 3 damage dealer, just not closing the gap. But that's good news for the next time they come to play. Match leaderboard off the back of that one. 20 points goes the way of Purple Mood Gaming. 17 picks up 16. LG does get 9 because of placement. Sixel going to be happy with that 7 points, especially after all the damage that they've been doing today. And we do see Gen G kind of struggling, and again, Pentagram not making it into the top there. Let's look at the overall leaderboard. It's our first leader change of the day, as 17 jumps up to first place with 60 points.
Yeah, and of course we were talking about this 75 to 85 points cutoff here. It's very top heavy. It's more teams that are sponging it up, and we can look all the way on our right side of the leaderboard. Our bottom 8 here, all the way down to Twisted Minds. Gen G still has a chance. It's 13 points from up to Sixel from Gen G, so it's just one good game with a couple of kills, right? And you're going to be in there, double-digit kills and a middling placement. So everything is open for them. Tomorrow we go into Miramar, of course, and it's going to be back to Group A.
Yep.
Miramar take over Vikendi and straight back to end it on a wrangle, as we usually do. So super excited to see what we're going to be seeing from Tianba and what Group A is going to be having for us tomorrow.
And I think that's it. Group A had a chance to sort of get their
bearings,
watch the teams play today, and come back tomorrow with a better plan. And because of how wide open that roster, how much I guess you say Tianba has soaked up and left it open for everyone else, anything can happen. And we're excited for that.
Per grup main 12 match, yang final itu 18 match.
Wah anjir itu stamina kencang banget men.
Makanya belum PUBG itu seru cu. Game lama soalnya.
We're also sponsored by the King Power Group, leader in the travel retail industry. King Power, the power of possibilities. Loga Pro Esports gaming gear made with a unique design. And as a world-leading gaming brand, MSI stands out as the most trusted brand in gaming and esports. They are the official gaming partner of the PUBG Global Championships 2023, providing the PC hardware, monitors, and laptops as a designated hardware provider for this event. Tokanoi, live deliciously. And finally, #1 fast and reliable fiber internet brought to you by True Online. And we brought all of these, have made it possible for us to bring you some of the
PUBG banyak loh, nggak kayak Apex loh, Cok.
very long time. It's PGC 2023 where the best have come to play.
Umurnya udah panjang sih, PUBG umurnya udah panjang.
Enggak, EA tolol, nggak mau jadi sponsorship.
First of all,
mager hari.
All the sponsors, all making this all possible. Of course. Fantastic seats. We're sitting here. It's usually we stand up, but here it's actually really comfortable sitting here. And I gotta say, what a fantastic first day for Group B.
Yeah.
Excited.
Udah besok dibeli Disney.
Honestly, for this year, PGC 23 is looking super exciting, and I feel like the competition is more even than it's ever been.
You know, and I think when the year started, people had questions about new maps, new gun changes, new equipment, like the emergency pickup. How does this new level of chaos really going to play into PUBG? And it seems like it's working. Even the players have just really enjoyed, I think, this new way to approach the game, new strategic options, new ways to play, and facing the challenge of 2 new maps, which again, Vikendi only recently entered the pool, and we're seeing that in these games where the players are sort of having to adjust on the fly, and it's kind of exciting for me to watch.
Yeah, and we've talked to the players, they're like, it's a bit of a wildcard map, but it's always awesome to go out and get you 20+ points on Vikendi or Takeo, even if it's a wildcard map. Now that we're playing 2 Wrangle and 2 Miramar every day, still, it's super cool to see how these players adapt at such a high level, right? We have all these new additions. We have your emergency pickups. We had a balance throughout the year. Went from a plane to a helicopter. If you take the emergency pickup too late, you are getting absolutely lasered out of it, and you're not going to get to your place. So I feel like everything is very balanced. It's always exciting to see changes, but how fast these players are adapting to, you know, meta changes. If it's guns, if it's anything, it is so quick, and you can see how they adapt extremely quickly.
Photoshop yang katanya ada AI-nya tuh apa sih?
Nerfs here and there. They're always min-maxing, and it's beautiful to see how well these players are controlling all the guns and all the changes that they're throwing at them throughout the year.
It's almost giving them passion again, because we see so many Augs used right now. Maybe they move to something else. But that's it for today. Let's check.
ที่ 2 ของการแข่งขันในแต่ละวันนั่นเองค่ะดังนั้นไม่รอช้าเดี๋ยวเราไปพูดคุยกับเขากันเลยดีกว่า
ขอบคุณครับ
So as I mentioned about that, we're going to have the interview at the end of the match, of the 6th match, and at the end of the competition today. So right here, please welcome the 17 players. Woo! Hello, welcome. Hi. Okay, 你好. Didi. Okay, so for the first question, you're his translator. So you've got like a lot of idioms, right? And a jump to the top of the last watch. So what do you feel or want to say anything?
OK， 所以就是在最后一局看到你通过那个击杀非常多的敌人，把我们的队伍从后面提升到了第1位。请问你有什么想说的吗？
提升到第1位当然是很开心嘛，但是我们最后一把还是做的不是很好，我觉得，自我觉得。
We're really happy that we're back to the first place, but there's still some minor mistakes at the last match, so we can do much better next time.
Look forward for it. And for the second question, right here for the first round, as you are one of the lead characters in the trailer, so do you feel excited with that? And when do you want to say, what do you want to say anything to your audience over here that watching our live now?
所以作为那开头片子里面的男主角之一，请问你有什么感想？且你对你的粉丝有什么想说的吗？